Why does it always fucking do that? I didn't want this screen. I wanted... Hello guys, it's the one only Snow Games 223, and today we are going to be watching part 2 of the Chris Chan A Comprehensive History. I watched part 1, I believe, last week, Monday. I watched part 1. Yeah, Monday. Ignore that. I always turn on my video so I can watch my chat because I can't see my chat with my screen. Anyways, guys, let's get straight into it. I don't want to waste your time. Before we get into it, though, I do want to say this is the last stream I will be doing on my laptop. I finally saved enough to get a PC. Round of applause for Snail. Everybody say round of applause. Everybody also say hi to our favorite fat-ass turkey cat, Freddy. Freddy is here joining us today. He might not be joining us the whole video, but he is here nonetheless. But anyways, guys, let's get right into it. Disclaimer: this content is made with the intention of informing and educating inquisitive persons about an often controversial figure by presenting a detailed factual account of events with minimal spin or twisting of the facts to the best of my abilities. Neither I, Gino Samuel, nor the video itself condone any hostile actions addressed herein and discourage contact, especially that of a malicious nature, with any person featured in this video. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a permitted by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Additional warning: the following video addresses mature themes which may not be suitable for young audiences. Make sure you guys check out Gino Samuel, link in the description. I have both his channel and this YouTube video in it. Without further ado, let's press play. Alright.
What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the
Hit my light, cat.
Of Chris Chan.
Hello, real awesome guy. Welcome to the chat. Or should I say real awesome Chad? This is part 2, by the way. I don't know if I said that or not.
In the year 2000, the Chandlers came back to their family home in Rutgersville, and in August, at the behest of his parents, Christian began attending Piedmont, Virginia Community College, where the highest level degree students could attain was an associate degree.
Associate.
Spellbound by illusions of...
Alright, what is higher? Why did Chris Chan use his shlong to defile his mother? I'm not answering that. When we get to that part of the documentary, then I'll answer that question. But for now, I'm not. Which is higher? Associates or bachelor? Okay, so an associate's degree is the basic shit, then it goes bachelor. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was right there.
Ranger, Chris chose to study marketing, but Bob quickly transferred him to a computer-aided drafting and design degree, in the hopes that it would be a better fit for his challenged son and his future. According to the PVCC handbook of the time, this was a 2-year degree, worth 15 credits.
2 years, so he was in college for 2 years.
English classes, and even a tennis class. Apart from study, he continued to develop his Pokemon website and added more cards to his wall of originals, creating cards representing, among others, his beloved Sonichu.
See, I find it so cool.
Creating cards
despite all the evil shit this guy's done, I do find it cool that he made Sonichu a card before it was a comic strip.
Beloved Sonichu. In October, he launched Quick's Sonichu site, a website devoted...
Here we go, guys. This is the beginning of the Quickie forums. This is the beginning of the Sonichu comic books. Shit.
To his original character. Over the course of the year, the
Goo
Sonichu
Goo.
family grew. He created Soni, Sonichu's pre-evolutionary form, and dedicated a trading card to him. He also gave Sonichu a female companion, Rosechu, based on Amy Rose from the Sonic franchise. After high school, contact with his gal pals was lost.
Shut up,
apart
Freddy.
from Kelly. He claimed to have called her every weekend for about a year. For Christmas of that year, Christian made her a CD entitled Songs for Kelly as his gift. He incorporated a mini Sonichu into the artwork. Winter of 2000 is also significant, for that was when Chris created his Sonichu medallion.
This is the first of, I believe, 4 Sonichu medallions. So let's keep that in mind for future reference, guys, because there were a lot of medallions made. I wonder if you could still buy a medallion. I honestly, I wonder if that's possible.
Made of Crayola model magic and acrylic
You probably
paints.
can't.
Late 2000, I bought some Crayola model magic clay, and I molded and crafted the first original Sonichu medallion that I wore around my neck, with a makeshift chain, which I later replaced with a better necklace I bought from Pacific Sunwear at my mall. He would rarely be seen without it. The following year, he continued to develop the lore around Sonichu, which included creating an offspring for Rosechu called Rosie, and designing an Archie Comics cover for Sonic the Hedgehog vs. Sonichu. For his mother's 60th birthday, he made her a cake with Sonichu on it.
Oh, that was cute.
In July, he filmed the City of Quickville tour using the stop-motion feature on his Game Boy camera. The town in question was his yet unfinished Quickville made of Lego. He still hadn't settled on a naming system yet, so he spells it in 2 different ways. First with an I, then with an I and a K. The tour is led by a Lego incarnation of Christian, and he shows 2 landmarks of the town, the Water Tower and Gold Card Pass, before the video abruptly ends, possibly due to the Game Boy camera only having the capacity to hold 30 frames at a time.
Huh.
In August, Christian got a job at Wendy's. He was mostly in charge of cleaning trays, tables, and carpet tile flooring, keeping the place neat and serving the customers with kind, understanding help. He alleges that he never quite saw eye to eye with his supervisor, who disagreed with Chris's way of operating. According to one supposed event, he got his uniform dirty, and despite it being likely that he could have swapped with a clean spare at the establishment, he proceeded to continue to work with his sullied attire, and even attempted to wash it in the bathroom sink. According to Christian, a female co-worker gave him a hard time, pelting him with criticisms and insults, perhaps mistaking her constructive criticisms for attacks against his person. He also admitted he took breaks frequently, neglecting other duties.
That's probably why he got fired, in all honesty. That's probably why.
Chris was fired from Wendy's in September or October 2001 for a number of possible reasons. One of the most popular motives for his dismissal was that he performed a Donald Duck impression to a child at the restaurant, bringing him to tears. In other accounts, he said that he was fired after he drew an unflattering caricature of an older female co-worker. His termination was likely a culmination of these events. It was also around this time that Chris ended his weekly calls to Kelly. He gave conflicting reasons for this. He first stated that he suffered from noviophobia, a term he coined, which he defines as a fear of speaking to a woman who may already be in a relationship.
Damn. My boy ain't no simp, I'll give him
Which
that.
convinced him that his calls were in vain. Initially, Chris stated that he was told by his mother that Kelly most likely already had a boyfriend, so he might as well quit his attempts. But later, he changed his story, saying that he came to that realization all by himself. In other retellings, he said that he simply forgot to call her one weekend, and after he broke the routine, he didn't want to continue. On February 24th, 2003, Christian spent a tearful 21st birthday. For some reason, he was kicked out of English class by his male and possibly gay professor. Like many historical accounts of his life, he keeps changing the story. First, he said that the class was reading the book Wednesday's Child, which featured an autistic girl. He recounted that he told the professor that he was autistic as well, which resulted in a misunderstanding and Chris being forced to leave the class. Alternatively, He admitted to causing a disruption in class, writing in a report, "Exclamations you'd likely hear from a black person in church," which prompted his dismissal from the classroom. This ejection further increased his hate for men and gay men in general, and further convinced him of launching a pursuit to find true love.
This is the beginning of the love
In
quest, I
order to
believe.
meet whom he called a boyfriend-free
Yep.
girl,
Okay,
he
he's
launched
right.
his love quest. However, finding that one special person in his life wasn't going to be easy. Christian didn't feel like he had the confidence to approach women on his own volition, due to the infinitely high boyfriend factor. This term refers to the very high probability that any girl to whom he spoke already had a boyfriend, making it close to impossible to find his coveted boyfriend-free girl. By extension, every man who already had a girlfriend was thought of by Chris with seething loathing. With the infinitely high boyfriend factor, I'm not fond of about
Okay, this is to 4dogsforsitestar.net. Subject, I'm sorry, ... Hashtags, sigh. The hugging was one thing. But when I heard the smack of your kiss on his cheek, it started a chain reaction in my head. Oh my god! To simultaneous infuriation and jealousy. I assure you that I would not do anything extreme to Christopher. Originally, I was not fond of him because it was obvious that he was a... I'm not going to say that word because I'm not getting canceled. Yes! I'm not going to say that either because I am not going to be taken out of context. I fear them all. I fear the tormenting temptations of falling off. Originally, I was not fond of him because it was obvious that he was, Oh, wait a minute. Temptations of falling off the straight path. But then I mentally, sometimes from a DVD, and if you'll pardon my expression, shove some... I'm not reading this no more.
99.99999999996% of the total male population, with a margin of error of the 4 billionth of a % for about 100 men, of whom are okay acquaintances. Those doofs get all the luck, having a sweetheart to care for and to be cared from, getting all the hugs, kisses, and emotional support, and the security of a solid future without loneliness and with love and children. And besides that, my autism is not much help on the programming of my mind. Sigh. Oh, my life.
Oh, my life.
To combat his reluctance to approach prospective females, he devised a way in which women would approach him instead. The attraction sign.
Okay. 21 and single white male. I can't read this part because it's too small. Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion. If any men read this sign, mind your own business. Maybe he'll read it to me.
Christian created what he called an attraction sign, which was much like a personals ad, but in public. 21 and single white male, shy, smart, young at heart, computer skilled, humorous, a great thinker and go-getter, natural salesperson, enjoys good parts of life, diplomatic, friendly, loves his family, peaceful, very creative, he's lonely. Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion, 18 to 21 years of age, does not already have a boyfriend. Single, average to slender weight, body type, white, lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area, does not smoke or drink alcohol, happy, positive personality, average high income, drives a vehicle. If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump off of...
To all men with girlfriends except marrieds and blacks. Go jump off the cliff. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Smiley face. At least it was nice to put a smiley face at the end.
Lobby and would stand or sit beside it in the hopes of attracting potential mates.
Potential mates.
Sign and later comments, it is clear that instead of finding the love of his life, his quest for a sweetheart was more of a quest to lose his virginity and to find a woman to mother him and financially support him. Just a couple of months into his love quest, Christian was met with an obstacle. Mary Lee Walsh, the Dean of Student Affairs, tore down his attraction sign and allegedly even tore it up in front of him. According to Chris, she yelled at him in a violent manner and said that his way of doing things would not get him a girlfriend.
I mean, look at him. Look at Chris, okay? He's the peak male physical embodiment here. He's got his anime waifu on the wall. He's got his wall of original Pokemon cards. He's got his Pokemon with a Japanese text on it. This man should have been getting all the pussy, and yet he's not. And that's what's sad.
Walsh may have, in fact, taken down his sign and told him that it was inappropriate, as his methods were akin to soliciting sex on campus.
That's not, but okay. So, he never mentions sex in that poster at all. Let's go back a few frames.
Go-getter, natural salesperson, enjoys good parts of life, diplomatic, friendly, loves his family, peaceful, very creative. He's lonely. Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion, 18 to 21 years of age, does not already have a boyfriend. Single, average to slender weight, body type, white, lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area, does not smoke or drink alcohol, happy, positive personality, average high income, drives a vehicle. If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump off a cliff. Have a nice day. He would hang the sign up at the PBC.
Okay, that doesn't sound like he's soliciting sex, though. That doesn't sound like he's soliciting sex.
And said that his way of doing things would not get him a girlfriend. It is likely that Walsh may have, in fact, taken down his sign and told him that it was inappropriate, as his methods were akin to soliciting sex on campus. In any case, he was deeply disheartened by this event. It literally shattered my heart to almost nothing and murdered my soul. In response to this attack, Christian made another sign, which was quickly removed in a similar fashion. This was to be the beginning of Christian's make-believe conflict with Mary Lee Walsh that will haunt him for most of his adult life. As an act of catharsis, Christian wrote a poem called Saddest Heart in the World, in which he refers to Walsh in the most unkind of light. Lonesome and sad, the mastermind is very bad. In efforts of getting a boyfriend-free gal, that female dog took my only idea for a fall. Heartbroken, sad, and very lonely, I may never remove my virginity.
Okay, that time, okay, he definitely this time was talking about getting some puss. I'll give that credit for taking that one
On
down.
April 10th, Chris wrote a short story called Sonichu and Rosechu, The Genesis of the Love Hogs. It establishes the origins of Sonichu and Rosechu, and also incorporates elements from the Sonic the Hedgehog lore, such as the Chaos Emeralds. In addition, the story features a lovely Pokemon trainer. Her name was Kel, short for Kelly. He published it on his Sonichu site. In June, Christian...
I need a drink. Give me a second, guys. Okay. I got my drink.
As a salesperson,
put my light back in my face. Fuck.
It's unknown whether he actually managed to sell any knives. Later testimonies prove that he was still in possession of unpurchased stock, holding onto some items more than a decade after he was employed. His tenure ended in August, when his boss left the Charlottesville area.
He's selling knives.
In August, the newly formed band, Christian and the Hedgehog Boys, released their debut album. The band, which was led by Christian, and also featured Sonic, Sonichu, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Black Sonichu, in fact only existed in Christian's head. The album entirely consisted of Christian singing melody-free vocals with original lyrics over existing songs being played in the background. The songs covered a range of topics, such as his search for love in So Need a Cute Girl,
So Need a Cute Girl
by the Backstreet Boys.
I'm stuck as a... Okay, give me a second. I wonder, can you find that video? Can you find that video? As a virgin with rage. Report. Oh, wait a minute. Can you find that?
Hey, look at me. I'm sitting here sad and lonely without a fire, but a desire to not hear you say, I want it that way as I see the
Okay, you can find it.
ladies walking.
You can find it. That's pretty funny.
AUTISM, sung over the Backstreet Boys, Larger Than Life, and his Spanish skills in the Ricky Martin adaptation, La Cocina en la Casa de Casanova. Later that year, Chris wrote another poem, Sonichu's Ode to Rosechu, an attempt at depicting the romantic ties binding Sonichu and Rosechu. O Rosechu, you are as beautiful as a rose, though a zapbud is the flower that heals your woes. He once again reinstates his idealized views on relationships between men and women. If I evolve into your knight, I will protect you with my lance. Speed makes no difference, though you are slower than I. You dance in the field with such grace and style. Sigh. The poem closes with possibly the first utterance of a variant of Christian's commonly used term, sweetheart. Rosie, as often as birds tweet, will you be my lovely heart sweet? In October of 2003, Christian reunited with his childhood friend, Sarah, for her birthday. For the special occasion, he made her a present, a hand-drawn comic book detailing the complete history of their life together, entitled Chris plus Sarah's Life Shares. It is from this work of literature that the majority of their interactions with each other has come to be known, including Sarah's supposed childhood bullying, which then 21-year-old Chris completely neglects. Like most of his creative attempts, it is self-centered, bragging about his accomplishments concerning Sonichu. He also talks about her personal life, including her relationship with her boyfriend. As of sometime before July 2000, Sarah has been living with her boyfriend, Wes Isley, a magician who does parties. He closes the book with hope for the future. A special note from Christian to Sarah: I hope that we can hang together sometime, but for now and forever, we will always be good friends. To return the sentiment, Sarah decided to spend Christmas with the Chandlers, which delighted Chris.
Nintendo.
On November 22nd, 2003, Christian filmed a documentary of his activities in the game Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, which he then sent to Nintendo for consideration. Chris narrates this hour-long tour of two of his self-made towns, Quickville and Quick City. Since the documentary features a video game player narrating his activities while playing a game, this possibly makes Chris the first ever Let's Player in the modern understanding of the word.
Hello, Nintendo. Welcome to my Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. I am your host. My name is Christian Weston Chandler. I live in Ruckersville, Virginia, and I is 21 years old, and I play because I'm young at heart. So anyway, we're going to take a tour of my city.
Like everything he produces, it includes Sonichu.
So anyway, stepping out is my character, Sonichu. He's wearing the clothes with the character on it. Like I said, you might remember his face. There's his actual face. If you remember the rest of his body, you see the whole picture.
Chris performs a spontaneous rendition of Yellow is a Mellow Color off the Sonic and the Hedgehog Boys album.
Yellow is a mellow color. Yes, it is a mellow color. Sonichu's absolute lightning. And mellow color. Yeah.
He also treats the audience with a performance of So Need a Cute Girl.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I ain't never wanna hear you say I have a boyfriend. know it's inspired by a real thing.
He previews the in-game diary that he keeps.
As for a monthly journal entry here in November, yeah, I tried to get a girlfriend because I don't have a girlfriend. But I have made up a poem. Let you guys read it. Alright, scroll down a little bit as we go along. It's a very good poem because I am an artist as well as a poet. I'll make a rhyme every time.
He proceeds to give a tour of his bedroom.
This is my bedroom. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Because I like to make things fun since you know I'm young at heart.
As he unwittingly transfers his hoarding habits into a virtual environment, his bedroom in Animal Crossing closely replicates his real-life counterpart. Chris goes outside and comes across several characters who all seem to run back indoors at the very sight of him.
Around here, I want to show you my favorite character that I kind of got to know from the start. Oop, she just went in. There's Histoty. She just went in. There's Elmer. He just went in.
He then travels to his house on Quickville Island to reveal that he mostly uses the property for extra storage.
I use mine as storage for the extra items I don't have room for at home. Yeah, I got a bunch.
He reasserts his brand loyalty for Nintendo and decries their competitors.
Speaking of which, Sonic Heroes should be Nintendo GameCube exclusive because Xbox and PlayStation 2, my opinion is the same as yours. They both stink. Yeah, I do not even own them. I don't even want them. That goes.
I find it funny that later in life he gets a PS3 and enjoys it.
My game systems. I had my GameCube for about almost a year and a half now. Got on May 31st, 2002. I got your SNES, Nintendo 64, NES. I got the Genesis 301 with the original Genesis, 32X, and Sega CD, as well as Sega Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn. So I got mostly all of them. I've been a Sonic fan forever. That's why I'm glad that Sonic came to Nintendo.
He mentions that he likes to keep his surroundings clean by picking weeds.
Oh, look at this. There's a weed. I pick weeds. Keeps my town clean, as well as Quicksea.
He also likes to keep active.
Another weed. Why you know about that? I usually like to run. It keeps me going faster.
He introduces the viewers to his character, Crystal.
Anyway, this is Crystal. She's wearing the Rose Chew look. There's a zap button on the door. I got Sonic Rose Chew's mug right here.
Near the end, Chris proclaims that he is high-functioning autistic.
And to answer the all-important question, what is the meaning of HFA with the two red eyes? I will tell you. Got that? That means high-functionally autism because that's what I am. I'm functionally autistic. I may have autism, but since I'm high-functional, I could do a lot of things. I mean, otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this documentary I'm doing right now. But anyway, for the submission of Nintendo Power, this has been a documentary narrated by Christian Weston Chandler. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will consider this for publication. Bye now.
Christian started 2004 with a New Year's resolution to find a girlfriend. On January 3rd, he drew a Sonichu comic strip, which also featured Rose Chew and Black Sonichu. This was the first time he included his characters in an illustrated storytelling setting. On the 6th, he went to get an eye exam. The optometrist in question happened to be Dr. David Chandler, Chris's brother from Bob's first marriage, who informed him for the first time that he had an 8-year-old niece named Savannah. On January 18th, he wrote Hard Love Quest, a poem concerning his difficulties in finding a boyfriend-free girl. Without girlfriend love, he feels an older age, as he is still stuck as a virgin with rage. He searched low and high to the end. The only delay is the fear of being already beaten by a boyfriend. On January 31st, Christian wrote in his diary, "Well, it's the end of another month, and I still don't have a girlfriend. Maybe my latest idea, the Sonichu's News Dash newsletter, will make the ladies take notice of me." The newsletter in question was an outlet for Christian's creative ideas concerning Sonichu and his poetry. Issue 1 featured a couple of skits starring Sonichu, the poem Saddest Heart in the World, and a personal ad for himself, which was not unlike his attraction sign. Christian is a very shy and very thoughtful person and will only accept person-to-person encounters. When getting his attention, approach and say hi to him. Do not flirt from a distance. He will not be able to notice. To find Christian, he'll be wearing the Sonichu medallion. In addition to posting a digital copy onto his website, he distributed printed copies of the newsletter around PVCC campus as an alternative to his attraction sign. This must have caught the attention of Mary Lee Walsh, who issued a cease and desist order. In an email dated February 1st, Chris tried to settle out of court. Mary, I've slept on it, and I've realized that note hanging is not the way to get attention, and I don't really want to meet with either you nor Susan. No offense. I'll tell you what, let's forget the meeting, and if you will allow my newsletter to stay in distribution, I will do all of the following. I will never hang notes on the wall again. I'll consider stopping my silent treatment on Susan. I'll consider knocking you and Susan up my scale of respect, each by 2 points. 0 equals no respect, 10 equals respect. Walsh replied and insisted that they meet the following week. On February 9th, Christian recounted the events of that meeting. Mary Lee Walsh made it illegal to distribute the news dash. I am very angry at that XXXXX. In response, I plan to incite the masses and hope they demand the return of the news dash so my chances on getting a girlfriend can be restored. I have also declared war on them as well. It was allegedly during this meeting where he performed his Curse Yehameha attack, which consisted of Chris mimicking the hand motion of an attack move from the anime series Dragon Ball Z and cursing people into experiencing bad luck. However, it is not certain whether he was inspired by the original occurrence of the Kamehameha or its parody featured in another anime, Excel Saga, to which Chris has definitely been exposed. In March, Chris claimed that the kerfuffle concerning Walsh got his parents upset too. That XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh got on my and my parents' nerves. All I'd been doing was trying to get a girlfriend. Is that too much to ask? I am very devastated due to my shattered heart that XXXXX caused unto me. My life sucks. Completely disregarding her demands, he published issue 3 of Sonichu's News Dash, with most of the content themes remaining unaltered. However, his requirements for a boyfriend-free girl were tweaked a little bit. He was now looking for 18 to 22-year-olds, since he had just turned 22 himself. In May of 2004, Nintendo Power magazine published an article highlighting Christian's Animal Crossing video, referring to Chris only as Sonichu. Simply amazing. There's no other way to describe what we've received from Sonichu of Quickville, a full video documentary that walked us through his daily life. His opulent manor contained every manner of furniture. Quickville's landscape was filled to the bursting point with all the animals who'd moved to his well-tended town, and Sonichu has customized everything about his town. Even many villagers have followed his bold trends, wearing the patterns he has created. This apparently got the attention of PVCC's newspaper, The Forum, which featured Christian and Sonichu in an exclusive report. PVCC student Christian Chandler has dedicated many hours to his pastime. He is the creator of Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon. Like Sonic, Sonichu can run at high speeds. During Supersonic's battle against the perfect Chaos Monster, Sonic Adventure DX for GameCube, Supersonic was spat out by the monster and collided with a bystanding Pikachu, Chandler explained. According to this story, the power from the Chaos Emeralds transformed Pikachu into Sonichu. Chandler and the world he created for Sonichu were featured in the May 2004 issue of Nintendo Power. The place is called Quickville. The Quick prefix are his initials, Christian Weston Chandler. Nintendo Power was apparently impressed with Chandler's work. During all this rigmarole, he continued to publish his news dash, but he updated his personal contact information to include a link to his Match.com profile, which he created to aid in his love quest. It was also around this time that he opened a MySpace account. I enjoy drawing, listening to music, playing video games, and TCG. I also like anime, Legos, and I love my parents. I also enjoy web design. He proceeds to list all the gaming consoles in his possession, finishing with the Pokemon catchphrase, Gotta catch 'em all. Interestingly, he listed his occupation as student/cartoonist. He explores his most desperate desires in his blurb. I am a bit shy, but I would enjoy the company of a beautiful girl who likes some of the things I do. I also like to have fun when I can, and I don't really like to be alone. I graduated from high school on the honor roll, and I'm doing very well at PVCC. A lot of men make false promises to their girlfriends, but I am totally different. When it comes to what I can offer, I can seriously promise care, respect, empathy, and love. I think that most girls deserve the world, and I would do my best to give it to them. In May 2004, he attended the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention for the first time, where he met notable voice actress Monica Rial. She also sings opera very nicely, and she is a very nice, fun, and sweet person to hang around with. She sure made my day a sweet one. In Sonichu's News Dash, issue 5, he introduces 3 new Sonichu characters. Christian Sonichu, based on himself, Wesley Sonichu.
Okay, so over time, if I remember correctly, the Sonichu comic books devolve out of Sonichu itself and move more towards Chris.
His quote-unquote rival, who's based on Sarah Hammer's
Hello,
boyfriend,
Yeaterson.
Wes Isley, and Sarah Hammer Rose Chu, obviously named after Sarah herself. In June, to celebrate the 24-year wedding anniversary of his parents, Chris made them a present, a dramatic retelling of the family's life via Animal Crossing. Through this videographic endeavor, he delves deep into the family's history.
Hi, Mom and Dad. How you doing? It's my little present for y'all. A little documentary for y'all. Here in Animal Crossing, for Nintendo GameCube. About how y'all were and how you are now and so forth. So, take a trip back in time with me, won't you? As we explore how each of you were. Of course, first we'll travel back in time to the time of good old Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. He was a hip youngster back in his day. Let's take a look inside his chateau and see what describes him as him. He collects records, and he's got lots of them. He's got so many shelves. He likes palm a record case. Yeah.
Chris reveals that Bob has Cherokee ancestry.
He was born in Cherokee in Texas. Actually, he was like 1/16th Cherokee. But that's why we have the storm pole here. This Chinese lion here, that's he's been to Korea for World War II, I believe it was. And he got Conduct Medal of Honor.
For reference, Chris doesn't exactly know when his dad went to war. I'm pretty sure he was right on the Korea aspect, but as we all know, the Korean War happened after World War II, I believe.
He performs the same type of tour for Barbara.
But she went to school, and she worked hard. And see these shirt here, that's her school colors, blue and white, because back in high school, she was a cheerleader. Bum bum, fist boom ba, yay yay, la la la.
We're watching the Chris Chan documentary. We're also commenting on it.
And we got kitchen, fridge, and the stove. Here's a little fan to keep cool with. Keep food in this little pantry. And she keeps her brooms and mops in the old closet here. Although somebody brought the mop, somebody wanted to clean up.
We're going to watch both part 2 and 3 tonight, just to get 3 out of the way. So there is 72 parts. I'll have to edit the title of this video later, though.
What happened in the old days? The bathroom was in the same room as the kitchen. But luckily, we always remember to wash our hands with soap and water. Yeah. Anyway, that's just in the days of old. Nowadays, she does have a private bathroom. Yeah.
Chris explains how his parents first met.
They met over at May's pub, see. Yeah. Mom was just sitting down with her friends. She was watching Bobby sing up here. And well, she really liked his singing, so as father put it, she went up to him and then as he passed by, changed the thermostat. Yeah. Anyway, she chased him down the hallway. It cornered him. And then after that, they just talk things out. And
I have to move my
discuss
chat to the side of me,
some
so
common things. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lovely wife, to love and hold and cherish and to honor? I do. And do you, Barbara, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish and to honor forever? I do. I now pronounce you man and wife, you may kiss the bride. Whoopee!
After reenacting their wedding, Christian introduces himself into the picture.
But anyway, when first comes love, then comes marriage, then they come along with their baby carriage. And that's where I came in. Born in February 1982 with me.
He gives himself a tour of his own room
So anyway, this is my bedroom.
and then returns to Bob's room.
As a little retribution for how things were, we're going to play a little number on the jukebox here. But since we don't have side-by-side on recording, we're going to play...
I have to constantly keep looking down at my
Hit Number
chat.
the Apple Tree.
He proceeds to let the 1942 song Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree play in full.
And there you have a nice little glass of past. And now for my mom and dad, a little something special for this video. This is my way of saying happy anniversary to y'all. Coming up next.
The video cuts to a drawing made with Mario paint, which says, "To Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. Thank you both for my birth. Love, Christian C."
Yes, this is the guy who did incest with his mom.
Chris began going
But we're not going to talk about that yet because that's later down in the documentary. If you want to learn more about that aspect of it, go to Geno Samuel, which is this guy right here, and then I believe it's somewhere around this part 71 and 72 where he actually talks about that. But for now, we're only on part 2, and then we're going to watch part 3 after this. But make sure you guys check out Geno Samuel. He's the guy who makes these.
He announced, "Well, it's another month. Still no
Link in the
girlfriend,
description.
But I have a new idea that I am sure will reel in a girlfriend on a fateful red string." The idea concerning red string consisted of Christian tying a red string to a paper heart on which "Pick me up and bring me to my owner" was written. The significance of using a red string was most likely a reference to its appearance in the anime Excel Saga, and is a well-known symbol in many Asian cultures. Christian would throw the heart at prospective partners and hope that they would pick up the heart and follow the red string leading back to him. It cannot be determined how successful this strategy could have been, because just 4 days after he employed the red string of fate, a mall security guard, which Chris referred to as a jerk-op, put an end to it. In August, Chris shifted focus away from Pokemon and centered his attention on Yu-Gi-Oh!, a similarly themed card game. He began making his own custom cards and attended his first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament at the game
Virgin
house,
with
where he
rage.
met Megan Schroeder. Over the months of getting to know Megan, I grew fond of her. Although at that time, and up to now, she wasn't interested in a lovely relationship. I've bided to her wishes and requests. I am truly fond of her. Since he and Megan had Yu-Gi-Oh! As a common interest, Christian only intensified his obsession with the game, creating more and more custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, with one depicting Crystal, Christian's make-believe female twin. He also designed a girlfriend's gift card, on which the illustrated girlfriend looks suspiciously like the sister. On September 4th, Christian reflected on his love quest so far. While I was at the mall for the 8th week today, I realized something. Since I have been using a sign to state my being single and lonesome towards an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free woman, I, in the event, was trying to sell myself like a new car. 2 days later, Chris's love quest was interrupted by a jerk-op. I told that jerk-op off when I pulled some of my fun cards and told my lonesome virgin story, intimidated him, and shouted no into his face. In short, today was my Independence Day, but I am still alone. On September 11th, his search for love took a turn for the worst. I was not bothering anyone at the mall today while I was trying to sell myself, when I got arrested for trying. I fortunately did not go to jail, but I have been stripped of my right to go to the mall by myself. I would be required to bring my mom or dad with me. My independence and my soul were practically murdered. Chris's run of misfortune climaxed when only 5 days later, the school board of PVCC suspended him for 1 year. My dad is bloodthirsty for revenge as well. He's going to write to U.S. President George W. Bush Jr. and Laura Bush to help me get allowed back to PVCC. We all curse to death upon that XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh.
So he
With his
got kicked out of
he's
college, it
required
looks
to
like.
take anger management classes, get a psychological evaluation, and receive social skills counseling. 10 days after the event, he lamented over his inability to go to PVCC or the mall, and confessed that he would be asking for a girlfriend this Christmas. Despite his bans from the college and the fashion square, he decided to continue with his search for a boyfriend.
Sorry, I keep looking down at my phone, guys.
To the University of Virginia's campus to do so. However, this move wasn't for long, as Christian was allowed back to the fashion square in November. Regardless, he went back to UVA for a different kind of engagement, in the form of a mandatory psychiatric evaluation. There are more of such documented examinations in existence, but this is the only one so far which has been made public. Mr. Chandler says that since finishing high school and starting at PVCC in the year 2000, he has had an increasing interest in a female companion. His attempts at this ultimately led to his suspension from college. His attempt took the form of a sign, which he placed next to himself while sitting in the lobby at Piedmont. This sign was a list of qualifications that a potential girlfriend would have. He said that he has been very frustrated by his inability to find a girlfriend, and he suffers from noviophobia. This refers to his frustration that females often tell him that they already have a boyfriend. While he does have physical attraction towards females, his primary frustration is with his lack of companionship. The report mentions his medical record and earlier evaluations. He has already undergone psychological evaluation by Robin Hawks at the Center of Learning Potential. The recommendation concerning Mr. Chandler's emotional status is that he seek psychiatric and psychological treatment. The psychologist felt that counseling and medication would possibly address his obsessive thought pattern and assist him with social skills. She also recommended anger management training. The analysis also comments on Christian's appearance and demeanor in the session. The patient is a mildly overweight white male, wearing blue jeans and a shirt. He was also wearing a makeshift necklace that has a large plastic medallion in the shape of a Pokemon character's head. He also had a number of shrinky-dink decorations attached to this necklace. He had a large backpack that he carried with him, and had a notebook containing a large number of drawings. His speech was somewhat nasal, with frequent awkward laughing during his sentences. His speech was fluent. His responses were appropriate to the questions posed to him. Overall, the volume of his speech was slightly elevated, although his tone was generally pleasant and almost jovial. His thought processes were linear and logical. He was somewhat concrete, especially regarding social interactions. He seemed to have a good insight into his limitations. The attending physician offers up his final verdict. Folstein's score was 30 out of 30, with his sentence being, "Uncle Spunky is a really funky monkey." Mr. Chandler is a 22-year-old man with a history of developmental delays and autism. Despite these limitations, he seems to have been quite successful in maximizing his academic abilities. He is left, however, with a severe degree of social awkwardness, and seems to have good insight into this. He is left feeling somewhat frustrated, as he has a strong desire for companionship, although his social limitations prevent him from being able to realize this in the way which he would like. The patient doesn't seem to pose a significant threat to himself or anyone else. After the evaluation, Chris carried on with life, much like before, with neither him nor his parents making any significant effort to change his ways. But Christmas was soon approaching, and maybe Santa would bring him a girlfriend like he wished, who could right all his wrongs and change his life for the better.
Alrighty, guys, so that was part 2. So we're going to do part 3 now. Link to the description to Gino Samuel's channel and this video are in the description. Part 3 will also have a link to it in the description, but I'll have to add that after I do the stream. So
What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Wonder if there's a way.
Hello. My name is Christian Chandler, age 22 at this time. I will be 23 on February 24th, 2005. Anyway, for over a year now, I've been trying to attract an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free girl, 18 to 21 before February 24th, 2004, which is this year. Anywho, been trying for over a year to attract a girl, boyfriend-free girl, and I have failed. And you know, when you have so many failures at this time, you can't help but feel sad, you know, and depressed. And here it is about Christmas time, and well, all I want for Christmas is a boyfriend-free girl.
Chris prepares for Christmas 2004 by singing 2 of his songs for the camera. He performs So Need a Cute Girl.
Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age.
Followed by All I Want for Christmas is a Pretty Girlfriend.
All I want for Christmas is a girlfriend. Oh, she has to be 18 to 22. Well, at this time of year, all I can say right now is that I hope Santa will comply with my request and bring me a pretty girlfriend. And so, happy holidays from me, Christian Chandler. By the way, you can call me Chris in public. And thank you.
Christian whipped his camera out for Christmas Day too, and documented the state of the house at that time.
'Twas Christmas Day, and all through the house, the creatures that were stirring were my family and me and our 2 cats. And we wander upon our wondrous Christmas tree, with a star that was made so delicately. Delicately?
The star on top of the tree is in fact Sonichu. Chris reveals that his dreams were dashed that day.
Huh.
And a Christmas present that was supposed to be for the girlfriend that Santa brought. But unfortunately, she didn't show.
Chris
Oh. I'm sorry. I still, at his age, I still don't think that he should believe in Santa
introduces his
Claus.
audience to his parents.
But I
And
guess
now we
it
wander in on my family.
makes him feel better.
Say hello, Father. Yeah. Making our Christmas movie. I see. Where's the chip? Well, I'm going to play on to VHS anyway. Alright. A smaller Christmas tree down here. Yeah. And our mother is asleep here in a dark area. Would you care to share a Merry Christmas with the world, Father?
The tour puts a spotlight on the extent of the hoarding situation in the house, as Chris visibly has trouble navigating through the hoard.
Care to say something to the entire world? Merry Christmas. Yep.
After the tour, Chris documents the gift exchange, revealing the interpersonal dynamics of the family.
Okay, yeah, it's recorded. So, here we are around the Christmas tree. We're going to open presents. Right.
Chris presents Bob with a card.
Am I supposed to read it? Yes, read it. Am I supposed to read it out loud? Yeah. Read to Mom. I want to thank you all for your support and love throughout my fantastic love quest.
Phooey.
And if Santa doesn't bring me one, no comment. Like I asked him, then I'm going to need some support finding a boyfriend-free. It'll come, Christian. Hope you all like my present. Okay. Today I'm thinking of Christmas and remembering you all. Merry Christmas, Christian C. Yep.
Christian gives Bob the option of receiving the puppet TV show Fraggle Rock on DVD or on VHS. After
At least he
Christian
gave him an
disputes,
option.
It implies that he wants to keep the DVD for himself. Bob caves in and chooses to take the VHS.
So you want the VHS?
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm not much for the other.
DVD. Why do we have one for? I gave him a choice, remember? You remember the original white DVD? Yeah, it's by the Rock Father, that's what's on there. Everything that's on the DVD is on that VHS.
VHS works better than my system.
Chris presents Barbara with a Lego set.
No boring stuff.
He gives her a plush doll of the Japanese character Hamtaro.
I got you, Hamtaro. That's cute. Yeah, it's a Hamtaro. He's a little hamster. He's a little bitty hamster.
The family discussed the possibility
You are a
of a
beautiful
surprise visit
Peggy.
from Sarah.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you, young jester.
You know,
That's pretty funny.
she might come over.
You are a beautiful piggy.
Chris
I don't know if I
attempts
look
to
like a
embrace
pig,
his
but I
mother,
appreciate
ends
it.
up hurting her instead.
Here, oops, I'm sorry. Don't hurt my head. I'm sorry.
He does it again.
Two boxes together here. I'm sorry.
Chris gives Barb another present. A snow globe with him in it.
Hello. With me in it. Merry Christmas, Ron.
I like your profile picture, young jester. Was that a hot dog with a mustache?
I got it over at Walmart. Snow globe. Cool. Yeah, that's me. Merry Christmas.
My tattoo. Which one? I have this one. And I have that one.
Not on the couch.
After the gift unwrapping, Christian went back to his room to record a video recapping the events.
Hello, Fox Boy Productions. How are you? Welcome to the channel.
2004. I think it's a nice gift, but it does not compare to
Oh,
having a boyfriend.
at least you're watching.
To a girlfriend. But unfortunately, I was hoping for her to come, but she didn't. I bet my lifelong friend, Sarah Hammer. You know, if she had not been paired up with that jerk Wes Isley, I could have it. But seriously, though, I wish she was here so that I could talk to her and so she could help me in my quest to get a boyfriend-free 18, 22-year-old girl.
Well, if you've never seen this before, Fox Boy, I recommend that you go check out Gino Samuel's channel. He's the one who makes these. He's got like 72 different parts to it. I definitely recommend you check out his channel before checking out mine. Link in the description below. This is part 3 to it, by the way. I haven't put the description yet because I didn't think I was going to watch part 2 and 3
Anyway,
today.
that pretty much sums up my Christmas season for this year. So, as they say in showbiz, goodbye, folks.
As he entered 2005, Christian continued his tried and true tradition of pacing around the mall, hoping to attract a boyfriend-free girl. His activities quickly caught the eye of Anna McLaren, an employee of Pack & Son at Charlottesville Fashion Square, who described her encounter with him in
Alright,
a blog
bet.
post titled The Tale of the Crazy Pacer. There was a guy who paced in front of Abercrombie & Fitch. He'd come and do it for hours on end, just walking back and forth. He was an okay-looking guy, not evil-looking like creepy molester dude. So he would pace for his allotted time, then leave. Sometimes, as he paced, he would sing or shout. Nobody really could ever tell what he was saying. Oh yeah, and he always wore the same shirt. A nice little long-sleeved red and blue number that had a gold crest on the left side, and white collar and
Wonder if he
cuffs.
ever washed that
Then,
shirt.
one day, he decided to start pacing on the Pac Sun side, so he started pacing in front of
I
our
agree
store.
too. It is kind of fun to watch live
And
streams.
Lin noticed that crazy pacer kept looking into Pac Sun as he paced, and this day, he was acting particularly crazy. He'd pace and pace, then stop and shout something at the wall, then keep pacing. And he also did some singing, even getting into the vibrato falsetto junks. It was hilarious.
I feel like I know who Young
Someone,
Jester is because he
can't
said
remember
Peggy.
who,
I just realized that.
suggested
That's my
the
Peggy
next time he
tattoo.
looked in, we wave at him. So they waved, and Christian waved back. After some waving back and forth, Christian took the initiative and entered the store. He came right up to the counter that I was standing behind. Auntie looks right at me, all fidgety and twitchy, and he goes, "You look to be about 19 years old, right?" He then proceeded to introduce himself. "My name is Christian," he said, "but you can call me Chris. I'm Christian W. Chandler." "Oh," I said. "Hi, Chris." "So," he continued, "do angels have names?" I found out later that he meant to say, "Do angels like you have names?" Poor guy was so
The
nervous,
wall,
he
so
didn't get it
Discord
right.
moderator when a
Anna
girl breaks
introduces
the
herself.
rule.
Then Chris talks about eyes. "My eyes are two different colors. One of them is green.
What do you
and
mean
the
by
other is
that?
blue. That's because I had pink eye a while back, and one of them stayed that way. What color are your eyes?" I was pretty grossed out by the pink eye story.
Oh.
I told him,
Chris, my man, if you're gonna get some, you can't be talking about pink eye.
anyway, sometimes blue, sometimes green, and usually gray. "Oh, that's neat. It's funny how that happens, isn't it?" "Yeah," I said. He attempts to ask her out, but Anna declines. He eventually settles on the internet as a forum for future communication between them. Christian came back and handed me a card with a crudely drawn Sonic the Hedgehog and some other yellow Sonic-looking creature on it, along with Christian's name, email address, and website. It was a homemade business card. "That's my email address, and you can just email me sometime, okay?" "Okay," I said, not intending to email him at all. Little did either of them know, but this was the start of a friendship. But for the time being, Chris's contact with Anna was sparse. In February, Cartoon Network's Adult Swim block held a contest which asked...
He says in the beginning of this documentary, I don't know how many people have watched these documentaries before. "Man, when you simp so much, you send Sonic OCs." He aged, but his pickup lines didn't. You're right. And you know what? He did simp pretty hard if he showed his Sonic OCs. You gotta give him credit. Chris had some game, but he didn't have a lot of game. He says at the beginning of this documentary, though, that he wins a lot of contests, and that's why he thinks that he's so cocky and so self-entitled, because he won so many contests before.
Asked viewers to make their own commercial advertising the release of the cartoon
I probably
series,
just spoiled it for
Harvey
some of the
Birdman,
new viewers. I'm
Attorney at
sorry.
Law, Volume 1 DVD set. Christian sent in his own unique take, in which he mentions his ongoing feud with Mary Lee Walsh.
Hello, I hired Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, to help me, Christian Weston Chandler, in my case against Mary Lee Walsh, who years ago shattered my heart.
Shattered my heart.
For me, and knew you have one for me. A Harvey Birdman 2 disc DVD box set, which comes out April 12, 2005.
He finishes
I would have been
promotion
5 years old. I would have
cards
just turned
depicting
5.
himself and Sonichu.
Or about to turn 5.
Regrettably, the winning entry did not feature Chris. In response, he vented his frustration at losing on the
Yeah,
electronic
Cartoon
message
Network.
board.
I don't really watch
"My
Cartoon
entry
Network
was
either
very
anymore
dramatic,
either.
and a lot better than that piece of poo, or any of the others that made the top 5 as well. I'm very upset about that. My Quick's Harvey Birdman spot was the best, and I feel sorry for you, Adult Swim, for not noticing that. You all should take another good look at it, and seriously reconsider."
My thing is, though, is with... If the Harvey Birdman thing didn't air, how the hell did he get a hold of that video? Because I don't think he ever uploaded that to the original channel.
In March, Christian published
I could be
Sonichu
wrong, though.
Issue 0, his first full-length comic.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the Sonichu series, the series that made him famous on the internet. This here is when the downfall of Chris Chan begins.
The issue is further divided into episodes, much like a television show, with a different story in each one. Episode 1 begins in an open field, 5 miles from the city of Station
5
Square,
miles.
in which a wild Pikachu observes fighting in the distance between Supersonic and the perfect Chaos Monster. Pikachu gets caught in the scuffle and collides with Sonic, the impact releasing a rainbow which lands on a girl Raichu 15 miles away, who then transforms into a hedgehog-like creature and calls herself Rosechu. Meanwhile, the Pikachu somehow inherited Supersonic's powers in changed form and joins Sonic in
Yeah,
the
good
battle,
point. He probably
defeating
did
the
send it
perfect Chaos
on his
Monster,
channel, but deleted
who
it.
christens
Maybe.
himself Sonichu.
I know that the original Chris Chan YouTube channel is no longer around. Anything that you're seeing nowadays is re-uploads, because his original channel did get
Christian
taken down.
himself interjects here and there. He draws himself having one blue and one green eye, as he had told Anna. His eyes are in fact different colors, but the difference is nowhere near as profound as in his illustrations. He then proceeds to introduce Quickville, and reveals that he is also the mayor of said town. He then goes on to introduce all the main characters of the story, including Mary Lee Walsh. He saves himself for last, and devotes a full page to talk about Christian Weston Chandler. The next episode concerns Sonichu and Rose-Chu meeting and quickly falling in love, sharing a kiss underneath a spray of fireworks.
Of course.
In episode 3, Sonichu confesses that he has a dislike for pickles, as does Christian.
He can somewhat draw. I give him credit. You're right. He can somewhat draw. I give him credit for that. The problem that I have, though, is that, in all honesty, I feel like people should have just left him alone and just let him do this.
Of the evil foe, Nature.
The reason why I'm doing these, watching these, is because the Daniel Larson's becoming a thing. And I'm starting to see the same stuff that Daniel Larson's going through. And, you know, Daniel Larson, whether you like him or not everything he's gotten he deserves, in my opinion. But still, he should know how to turn off the internet.
Whose name is simply Christian, backwards. After the battle is won, Mayor Chandler drives off in his car, carrying the Virginia vanity plate, Sonichu, identical to the one on his real car.
Okay, I never knew that. He's got Sonichu as his license plate.
It should be noted that Sonichu refers to Chris as his father, even though his creation has nothing to do with Christian.
Thank you,
Father. The comic ends with a sub-episode starring Chris in a story based on his run-in with the mall police. However, in this
You're
version,
joking.
he clutches his medallion, says
joking about what? You talking about the...
Drives off in his car, car.
He got that real stuff. He does. Watch, ready? If this is what you're talking about, you see, this is his car. How does he got that Sonichu license plate? He probably paid for it, because you can pay for special come play with me. That's something you'd see on a white van passing out candy, and that one I agree with. Autism work for a cure, because I have a brother with autism. But he does have Sonichu as a license plate on this little car.
It should be noted that Sonichu refers to Chris as his father, even though his creation has nothing to do with Christian. The comic ends with a sub-episode starring Chris in a story based on his run-in with the mall police. However, in this version...
So remember, if you watched earlier, he got kicked out of the mall for doing what he would do is to try to find a girlfriend. Once I get a car, I'm going to have some fun. Oh, cars are fun. Just be safe, okay? What he did was he would take a long string with a heart attached to it, and he would throw it out there and he'd try to catch a girlfriend. He was kicked out of the mall for this. This is how he got kicked out of the mall, but in this version, he kicks the security guard's ass.
Clutches his medallion, says electric hedgehog power, and transforms into Chris.
Dude, making my story animated.
Who largely looks like a blue-colored Sonichu, making him look like the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Meanwhile, the jerk-cop equips metal armor. Needless to say, Chris defeats him by cursing him into experiencing horrendous bad luck by using his Cursier-Hameha attack.
Cursier-Hameha.
Towards the end of March.
They had Starbucks in 2005? I remember Starbucks not being a thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Pacing and asked him out on a date. After she left, I became very excited and oh my god all over. After calling Mom and eating me nuggets, with such cheer.
Guys, this is real. This is real.
Like a dancer.
This is all real. Keep that in mind. Like Foxboy Productions said, this is all real. There are 72 parts of this documentary. Chris Chan has quite the history on the internet.
Put it back where it was. I felt that my love quest had finally come to an end. And I so elated that my...
If you're new to the channel, I would ask that you please like and subscribe.
I went to Starbucks.
Make sure you check out Gino Samuel's video.
Basic things. I showed her my Sonichu scrapbook. She was very impressed. I gave her my email and both my phone numbers on a Sonichu site card. And she gave
oh my god, Chris, no! Chris, why? Hello, Angie. Chris gave this girl his number and his email on a Sonichu site card. Chris gotta chill with his Sonichu personality. You're right, he do. He really
I was very
do.
attentive as I took notes about her and maintained eye contact. As I left her, I gave her a double-take flirt. That was the rise. Now here comes the fall. As I was sitting at my spot, thinking
Oh,
about future
Chris.
steps for later dates, Anna and Dana told me they went to talk to Hannah.
Why,
She
Chris?
told them that she
Why?
was setting me up in a prank. I could not believe it, so I found and asked Hannah.
He did. He really did. He said, he goes, "Hey, baby, want to see my Sonichu OCs?" That's what he did. You're right, Fox Boy. That's what he
In a
did.
major shock, my heart shattered again.
Why did
by
my mic's over
85%,
here?
and
My
I let
camera's
out a
right
big
there. I forget I'm on my
no.
laptop. My PC hasn't
This
come yet.
outburst of negation resulted in Chris getting banned from the mall again. He devoted the second sub-episode to this misadventure. Not long after, he completed his second Sonichu comic, Sonichu Issue 1. Pokemon's Giovanni teams up with Sonic villain Dr. Robotnik.
Damn,
to create
that's
their own
brutal.
Sonichu
It
in
is
order
pretty
to defeat
brutal.
the real thing. Unfortunately, a blunder causes Sonichu's DNA sample to get corrupted with cherry cola, producing an imperfect replica
Cold
of our
Steel.
hero,
I don't know who
called
that is, and I
Black
feel bad.
Sonichu, also
I don't
known
know
as
who Cold
Blotchu.
Steel is.
Blotchu captures Rosechu, so Sonichu and
Give me a second. I'm gonna look that up. Who's Cold Steel? Because I feel bad. I feel like I should know who that is. I pray to God I'm not walking into a trap. He said Cold Steel. I don't think you mean... Oh, okay. I think I know these guys. Okay. I think I know now. I think I know. He made like that zombie Sonic video,
Sonic
didn't he?
team up to rescue her. After combating Blotchu and the new Metal Sonichu, they eventually save Rosechu. The style of the comic became more text-heavy, with some conversations so convoluted that Chris numbered the lines in the order that they should be read. The following
Cold
month,
Steel
Chris's
Hedgehog.
review for Sprung, a dating simulation
Hedgehog.
game for Nintendo DS,
I
was
feel like I
published
know
with
who that
Nintendo
is.
Power.
I feel like I know who that
originally
is.
bought the game because I needed some
I'm gonna look it
lessons on
up
what
though
to
after
say
this.
to or do for
I might do a
girl.
stream on him
To
too.
make a long story short, I developed a fear that all the pretty girls are already paired up with a boyfriend. I've dubbed this social phobia noiophobia, after the Spanish word for boyfriend. Anyway, before Sprung, I was afraid to approach most women. FYI, I am 22 years old. I tried to silently attract a boyfriend-free girl.
See, you can't do that though. Like, you can't just like sit there and expect the girl to come to you.
Signs for over 1 year and 4 months. Then Sprung provided me with general things to say and do, so I felt more confident. When I tried my newfound expressions from the dating simulator, I forgot my fear of the infinitely high boyfriend factor, and I met a couple of lady friends with whom I feel more comfortable. So thank you, Nintendo and Ubisoft, for the dating advice that
It could be
frustrated
good
virgin needed.
if done right.
Christian C.
It could be. You're right.
On April
I'd watch
13th,
it or read
a
it.
University of Virginia student wrote a blog post that included her observations of Christian, whom she renamed Sonichu, hanging around the Alderman Library. So Sonichu returned to Alderman today. I'm not sure what to make of him. He sits in his chair and draws his Sonichu comics. Harmless, I ask me. Yet I feel like he knows he's
Ubisoft,
different.
huh?
He knows that the world rushing in front of him is not his own.
I don't know.
Surrounded by the
Ubisoft.
brightest students in America, whatever that means.
You're right.
In his chair
The only
for
time I've
us,
seen Pokemon and
23
Sonic in the
years
same
old.
game is Smash
I'm
Bros.
not sure if he graduated high
Yep.
school. In
I
front of
forgot
him is the text
Smash
of
Bros.
Plato,
existed.
Faulkner, God, and Kleist's Swirl.
Freddy,
Does
stop
he have
it.
the capacity to understand these works? Whether he can or not, I am not sure. But there is something in his eyes that realizes that there is a level of understanding
Seriously,
and thought
gotta do a
that he
collab.
is unable to
We
partake
could.
in.
I
As he
feel like
slumps
if we
lower and
petitioned
lower
them,
in his chair,
we could get
to
them
each
to
student he eyes reading or
do
holding
their
a book,
thing.
he falls into himself, into the markers and colors on the page in front of him. He seems intelligent enough to understand that he does not understand, and that is the hardest part of all. In early May, Chris released Sonichu Issue 2. This marks a turning point in the comic as the story
Wanna say
begins
hi,
to
Freddy?
focus on Christian rather than Sonichu. Episode
Big
7
fat
concerns
butterball.
the Antuant Prophecy. When Sonic explains the mysterious prophecy to Christian, Chris reaffirms that he is the creator and father of Sonichu. They enter the Destiny
But
Cave
how?
and
But like, he just retconned his own shit after like one episode. He like, Who is Freddy? Freddy is my fat orange cat. Freddy is my fat orange cat. The cat that I just lifted up into the camera. He jumped down here. Come back here, Freddy.
Who reveals that Chris is his reincarnation. He is told that he has to unleash
This
ancient
butterball
powers to defeat
right
the evil
here
by using his
is
Sonichu
Freddy.
medallion to transform into Chris Chan Sonichu. The story ends in a cliffhanger with Sarah Hammer and Wes
This
Eisley
is
getting
becoming a
possessed
whole
by
cinematic
mysterious
universe.
forces.
And he just knocked over my
Between
beer.
episode 7 and
Fuck,
8,
Freddy.
Chris inserts an
The
advertisement for Axe body spray.
He is
In
pretty
which,
cute.
ignorant
He's
of the
fat as
societal
fuck.
norms of hygiene, unknowingly confesses that he believes that bathing makes people smell
Yep.
exceptionally
Heart
nice,
by
to the point
Angie.
that people would compliment you,
Freddy's so
and that
cool.
using
Freddy ran
Axe
under the
body
computer
spray
desk, though.
is just as effective as
I'm in a
bathing.
cramp.
Episode 8
Ah,
continues with
fuck my
Wesley,
leg.
his past self, who is a member of the Wasabi clan, and turns into Wesley Sonichu and vows to kill Chris. Sarah also sees a vision and meets the queen of the Cherokee clan and transforms into Sarama Rosechu. Meanwhile, Chris Chan Sonichu accidentally
Second, my
transforms
leg's
back
killing
into
me.
his human self, leaving him vulnerable to attack from Wesley Sonichu, who turns himself into a ball and goes for a flying attack, prompting this exchange from the protagonists. What the? Sonichu, run! You don't have to tell me twice, but during the Stone Age,
But during the Stone Age.
Chris figures
What
out
do you
that
mean
his
by
attacker
that?
is Wes Eisley and confesses how jealous he is of him for being with Sarah, who's eavesdropping nearby. Wesley reveals that he only wants to steal the Cherokean crown. Chris changes into Chris Chan and fights Wesley Sonichu, who eventually knocks Chris out. And
Imagine Sonichu getting sponsored by Axe Body Spray. You know what's funny to think about? He actually did a whole... Give me a second. Because now that you've said that, I have to show this. Christian. Axe Spray. Ad. He made... See if we can find it. In one of his comic books, he made an ad for Axe Body Spray. Sonichu. Let's type in Sonichu Axe Body Spray. Yes, he did. I think he shows it in the documentary. I just can't remember. Ah, here it is. Here it is. This is it. After using Axe Body Spray, I feel scentilly delicious and confident. I know what he looks like, but every time I see his face again, I get a jump scare. He is pretty scary looking. And you know, I don't necessarily blame him. I blame the trolls and all that. But yeah, this was his Axe Body Spray ad that he made himself. He wasn't sponsored, but he made that ad. And I know he talks about it in this documentary. I just don't remember what episode. So I only watched up to like 10, and then I was like, I gotta show these to people.
steals the crown, which inexplicably just came.
Hello, Caden. Welcome back,
Before
bud.
Wesley can finish him off, Sarama intervenes and fires a lightning bolt arrow at Wesley, pinning him to
Cool.
a sacred tree. In the final
Did you get it on your
episode,
computer, or did you
Sarah
get it on
breaks
your
up with
Xbox?
Wes, who cries out no while shrugging. They learn that Quickville, which is a vibrant community with happy people, cool chicks, business, and a frustrated male, is under attack from a giant stone golem, which is under the control of Mary Lee Walsh and a mysterious talking orb. So Chris Chan, Sarama, and Wesley fly over there to fight them. The orb reveals itself.
Oh, I thought you had an
evil
Xbox,
and
Caden. I'm
announces
sorry.
that he is Count Graduan, who is a personification
That huge.
symbolizing the pain and sadness of
What's
Christian graduating
huge?
from high school. The three heroes beat them off for a little while.
Hi,
but Walsh and
THF.
Graduan escape, vowing to fight another day. In the epilogue, Christian and Sarah chat on the couch, and unfortunately for Chris, she reveals that she has found herself another boyfriend named
This
William.
plot
Thanks,
is
Chris,
ridiculous.
for being a great friend. Christian dedicates an entire page to Sarah Hammer.
Oh my... The girl tells him... Imagine a girl like telling you, nah, I'm not interested. I got a boyfriend. And you make a whole comic book dedicated to her. Like, that's some next level weirdo shit.
Strong friend, and offers some highlights of your time together. Currently, I
I'm
don't get
sorry to
see
hear that,
Kate as
Caden.
much as I did, because she found herself a boyfriend while I was in Richmond. But I often wonder how she is And if she is happy with him,
I had a
I share my
PS2. I
troubles with
recently
her
sold
in
it
my
to help pay for my
illustrations,
PC.
letters, and over the phone.
That
I
I'm. They
always
come.
appreciate the little
My.
moments.
Just so everyone is aware in the chat, this woman must be so sad. I would be sad too. Just so everyone is aware, I'm going to pick up my PC tomorrow. I should be doing a stream by 10:30, 11 of Universe Sandbox. So tune in for that, but it should be around 10:30, 11. My buddy of mine got drunk and got mad at me tonight because I didn't stream at 10:30 like I said I would, but I tried. But after I'm done with this stream, I'm going to tear everything down off my computer desk to make room for it. I go pick it up around noon tomorrow, and then I should have it set up by 10:30, 11. If it's not up by then, I will be streaming that night, I promise.
I have with her. The final page.
I have a
is call to
PS5
action
as
for
well.
all
I do not have
Sonichu
my
fans,
PS2
in
anymore.
which Chris expresses his wish to have Sonichu produced into a bona fide franchise by Nintendo America. The comic concludes with sub-episode 3, which is a dramatic reimagining of Chris's conflict with Mary Lee Walsh, who is the head of the private villa of corrupted citizens, the base of operations for the villains in the Sonichu universe, the name of which is derived from the acronym of Piedmont Virginia Community College. With Sonichu Issue 2, Christian comes closer to blurring the line between real life and his comic book world, creating his own reality. In Sonichu's News Dash Issue 9, Chris announced that he will attend the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention in Richmond, Virginia, on all 3 days. Since he has put himself into Sonichu's world, he will cosplay as himself. Talk about self-respect, huh? Also, he will be watching some of the good anime, getting some souvenirs, participating in some of the events, and just having the good time.
It's something like I would make when I was 5, yeah.
Sonichu Premiere Issue 0 on hand. But if you want a collectible copy, you will have to find him and ask for one. He stayed 2 nights alone in a hotel room.
Shut up, Freddy.
And during the convention, he handed out copies of Sonichu Issue 0 to unsuspecting attendees.
I understand too why he got into that world. Caden Ranverse, that's pretty cool. I'll come back to that, Caden. I understand why he went into that world too. People with autism, they tend to be in their own space. I know, like my autistic brother Corbin, he's nonverbal. I can't have a conversation with him, so I don't know necessarily what he is thinking. But I can understand why Chris went into his own world because, let's face it, if you have autism, not a lot of people understand you or understand your situation. And it's hard for you to associate with regular people. I'm not going to say normal. With regular people. So it's harder for them to make friends. And I implore you, if you know anybody with autism or you meet anybody with autism, you just be nice to them. Don't do what people did to Chris Chan. Don't do what they're doing to Daniel Larson. I implore you. I'll probably be getting Minecraft on my PC when I get it. I have PC on my PlayStation, but when I get it on my PC, it'll be easier for me to play with you guys.
On June 22nd, Christian recounted the events of the past 2 days. I had my setup at the McDonald's at Walmart, and apparently complaints were made. The 2 manager jerks, a Saynor comic, and a black fat jerk. He looked a lot like the leader of the jerk cops at the mall, whom I refer to now as the jerk
That's
chief,
cool.
approached me and took
I
me
can't
for a
draw
crawl
for shit.
with my trying to find a boyfriend-free girl, like I had been doing for the past over 1 year and 10 months. We argued and disputed until the 2 of them left to call the police. While they were gone, I had taken off the sign from my Nintendo DS and hidden it on the back cover of my diary. When the jerk cops came, they were all like,
just so everyone is aware, he calls anybody that is an authority figure, like a mall security guard. Freddy, stop jumping off shit. If you wanted my attention, come over here and get in the camera. He calls anybody at an authoritarian level a jerk op, which is like jerk cops.
Seems to be the problem. And the married Saynor comic was like, where's the sign? And I was, what sign? And another argument was had between the 4 of us, in which I never gave any of those
Give me 1
jerks
second, I'm going to
eye
post my
contact,
Discord
because none of them
in the
deserved
chat.
it.
If anyone wants to
So,
join my
I got
Discord,
kicked out from the McDonald's,
you guys are
not
more
the
than welcome to
Walmart,
do
for
that.
the rest of the day. Now for what happened today. I was starting to set up my things, and the B manager was getting in my face. I feel that he really hates me. and he was like, "Don't set up your stuff. Don't push me." I was not going to use the Nintendo DS sign today anyway, but he did not want my pixel block sculptures at all.
I
stood up
want to
against
use that
manager.
insult now.
I continued to blow, and I
If you
didn't
want to
take my
use it, go
situation
ahead.
into
There's a
his
link to my
face
Discord
when I
if
saw
anyone
him
wants to
dance.
join.
He went up to the Walmart manager, and he was like, "Hey, let's talk." But I sat silent for a minute. Then I said to him, "I do not speak to any man other than myself, because they all have taken all the pretty girls, leaving me with none." Verbal combat had started, and during the fight, I ran off, still giving verbal punishment, as well as the finger, and many kamehamehas. I nearly backed up onto him with my car, and I gave him another finger.
Damn.
Then I dashed off. Now, I feel sad, because I've nowhere else to go to attract a boyfriend-free girl. And I feel very furious with those managerks and all men other than myself and my father. Chris began believing that there was a conspiracy involving all the men in his town.
Okay, so this might sound mean, but when he says that he thinks there's a conspiracy, I kind of feel like that he would be considered one of the first incels, but I don't want to say that.
Against me in finding a girlfriend of my own, but I will not give up on my long and tedious love quest. I'll find a new attraction spot, somewhere in Charlottesville, Virginia. There has to be at least one 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free, caring, smoke-free, non-alcoholic, white girl out there somewhere. Chris dramatized this entire ordeal in sub-episodes 4 and 5, but his adaptation also featured the manifestation of his dream sibling, Crystal.
That's another thing, if you guys aren't aware, he believes he has a twin sister. I have noticed, and I'm not saying this is for everyone, but I have noticed that some people with autism pretend to have siblings or people that they're close to. I'm not saying I ain't never doing this to my GF. Good. I would hope not. I have noticed this one other time before. It was a guy on TikTok. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he went to see the WWE convention and he threw a fit over Freddie. Thank you. He threw a fit over his dad bringing a bobcat on the wall. If you know who that is, feel free to comment it because I can't remember the poor kid's name. But he believes he has a twin brother too, so I'm assuming that this is something that some people on the autism spectrum have. I'm not saying all of them, but I could be wrong.
A mere month later, he caused more trouble, but this time at Target, where he sat waiting to encounter a boyfriend-free girl for hours.
Yeah, I do that too. I have a couple close friends that I consider my brother and sister.
Of the free refills at his disposal.
So I get that too.
I was at the new Target store, just hanging around, not bothering anyone. And, from out of the blue, these two managers asked me to leave because they said I was loitering. I was not. I was there hoping to find an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free girl like I usually do. Then, from out of the blue, after I told them off, they came back with two jerk-cops. I was slightly intimidated, but mostly annoyed and ready to strike back on them. They asked me to leave and never return. I did not want to leave. I would have left peacefully. In fact, I was ready to go. But I had a prepared speech to say to them stupid jerk-cops. And, during the middle of my speech, they chased me, pulled my pants, and pinned me to the floor.
Okay, so he I don't know how true this part is where he says, yeah, he literally became his OC. So like I said earlier, there comes a part where Sonichu, the comic book, no longer goes off of Sonichu. It goes off of Chris and the world inside of his head. And it becomes blatantly obvious as time progresses.
Dogpiled on me as I struggled to get free.
But he has become his own OC.
Sausages on my 180-pound body were seriously a cutoff for my breathing flow. They handcuffed my wrists and legs, and they hog-tied me. Not only did I feel humiliated from being the victim, but I was angry at them, not only for handcuffing me, but once again thwarting my efforts in trying to find a boyfriend-free girl. They drove me to the county jail, but fortunately, they did not keep me there. I was released to my family. Chris was charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct. It was terrible.
I got my change
but my
back.
mother and I are going to get back at them in court. In fact, I learned that the jerk cop who arrested me was called Baggett. That was the only thing about the
I
situation
became my
that
own OC to say when me and my friends try to make it in live action of our world. If you guys have Minecraft, go to my server if you need Minecraft. Alright.
was hilarious.
Caden, feel free to post a
Replace
link
the
to
E
your
with an F, and you can see how funny it
Minecraft
was.
world, but if it lets you. I can't remember if
However,
it lets people
after
post
attending
links or
2
not.
court hearings, the charges were dropped. This event was recreated in Sonichu sub.
And Fox Boy, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like when you guys are like hanging out? Do you guys LARP, or I didn't mean to like gloss over that. I just had to let Caden know he could feel free to post his link. If you guys have YouTube channels, feel free to post their links in my chat too, or in my Discord, or anywhere. You know, I wanna build a community where you just feel free to feel free to post your guys' links to anything.
But in Chris's reality, he endured.
Yeah, I like
great
LARPing too. Me and my
came
brothers
out
used to do
victorious
LARPing.
In the end. Less than a week later, Chris.
But like I was telling Caden, if you guys got links to your YouTube channels and you guys want to sub or help each other grow, that's fine. I know some YouTubers and streamers don't like it when you guys self-promote. I honestly don't give a shit.
Had another run-in with the law. This time, a minor fender bender when he rear-ended the car in front of him. He was fined $30 and also paid $56 in court costs.
Do it. I implore anybody who wants to be a YouTuber or a streamer, do it. Go for it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. This shit is so... I mean, it's not easy per se. But, like, for me, I don't know how to video edit. So I just turn on the camera and I just start live streaming. And that's my content. But if you want to do this, I say do it. Go for it. Run with your money. Don't let anyone tell you you can't.
In August, Christian returned to PBCC after the end of his 1-year suspension. It was around this time that Anna announced that she was moving to Utah. Her announcement also somewhat coincided with her 20th birthday, so Christian and her friends organized a birthday/farewell party for her, with Chris claiming that he picked out and bought the cake himself. Throughout August and September, Chris engaged in back-and-forth conversations via MySpace with 2 female students, Jelena.
I have
and
Streamlabs. That's what I'm
despite
using
all his
to
efforts
do
meet
this.
with them, it ultimately
I just
came
don't know
to
how
nothing.
to edit
In
the
September,
videos that I
Chris
make,
finished
and I didn't know I
Sonichu
could
Issue
record
4,
off
which was
Streamlabs.
merely
I'll have
a
to try that.
compilation of sub-episodes 1 through 8. He claimed that his mother didn't want him making any more stories concerning his own life, so he obeyed and stopped making sub-episodes. In October, a user on a Sega forum began a discussion thread about Sonichu, in which members discussed the comic and
I'll
Christian's
have to try
personal
that then.
antics. This was the
Ederson.
earliest documented online discussion concerning Christian, but the original Sega forum hosting site has since been shut down and there is no known archive of the discussion chain. In November, Shoujo Beat, a manga anthology magazine, published Chris's letter which vaguely concerned the manga Absolute Boyfriend. Riko Izawa in Absolute Boyfriend sort of has the same problem I do.
Yeah, you've got a good point, Foxboy. It is interesting to see this that you've seen ages ago. I remember, Christian, I've been on YouTube in some sort of fashion since 2006. Yeah. No, I could be wrong. I don't feel like that's right. When did YouTube start? When was YouTube created? Okay, maybe it was 2006 then. I didn't realize it was 2005. I've been on YouTube since 2006, 2007. I'm currently 22 years old. So, me personally, I remember seeing a lot of Christian's videos. And as a little kid, I never realized the severity of it. But as I've gotten older, I've learned the severity of it, and I kind of feel bad.
Also, nobody can tell off the bat a paired up from a boyfriend-free girl. At first, it's equally hard for Riko to find a girlfriend-free boy. But then she's granted this wish, where she gets a girlfriend-free boy, although he is a robot, delivered to her doorstep. Lucky girl. I'm 23 years old.
I did not know that. I did not know that. When was it a dating? Freddy! Freddy, you fucker! Why did you do that? My cat just literally flung himself on my mic cord. Freddy, go. I hope you guys can still hear me. I gotta turn up my chat and make sure you guys can still hear me. Go. I hope you guys can still hear me. I gotta turn up my chat. Okay. Sorry about that. I gotta see if this is real. I did not know that. Sorry about that, guys. Was YouTube a dating site? Oh my god. What? Okay, good. I was worried about that. I thought he broke it. What? In 2002? Holy shit. Huh. I knew the PayPal thing. I did not know it was a dating site, though. That is beyond fucking wild. Holy cow. Maybe it was a good thing my parents banned me from YouTube as a kid.
I'd have gotten a girlfriend by now, but no, I haven't.
Don't go near
I'm
that
stuck
cord
in a
again, you fat
situation
fuck.
where if my parents should pass away, I will be a very
I
lonely
love you,
virgin.
but
Some months later, a fellow reader
sometimes
sent
you
in a
need
reply to Chris. Why is he only looking for pretty girls? There are plenty of girls who are not supermodel gorgeous whom he could date.
Okay, I'll look it up. Okay, but we can't have any more distractions. And I want to watch part 4, so we're going to have to fix the title for this. Part 3 and 4. And Science. We're going way off topic. Why is it doing fashion? No. Scientific name for pine tree. It better not be bad. Pinus. Okay, that's pretty funny. I'll give you that, Enerson. That's pretty funny. I'll give you that.
It's not the outside of the package that counts, but the inside. A girl can be pretty on the outside, but might be mean or self-centered or have other problems, whereas another girl could be plain or even ugly on the outside, but quite a beautiful, kind, intelligent person.
That is a fact, guys.
If more guys
Looks fade, but inner beauty does
think
not.
about what qualities they look for in a girl and make sure those qualities don't just focus on her outer appearance, they might just find a girl to go out with. Otherwise, many girls will think, why bother?
The look
He'll
is
just
funny,
leave
but
me
the
for next
pronunciation
pretty
isn't.
girl he sees. Megan agreed with her sentiment. Chris's advances towards Megan intensified, as is documented in their emails. She declined giving out her
I
phone
bet it
number,
was.
and later
I
in the
remember
same email,
pretending to be
also
cowboys
declined
and
his
shit with my
invitation
brothers.
to go out to a restaurant. In an email from December,
I have
she stated,
I have a plan for if my YouTube channel ever really kicks off, which is what I'm hoping for. Me and my brother have made an entire like world called Backwards Gulch, and we want to make it a series on YouTube. But until I get the
that she
money
did
for it,
not
I can't do
appreciate
it.
Christian trying to kiss her, and admitted that she's not interested in a relationship, but insisted they
But
can
it's a
remain
comedy,
as
a Western
friends.
comedy.
She also
So
confessed to accidentally discovering that he bought Megan a Nintendo
one day,
DS, even though she had recently just gotten one
but it
herself.
is fun.
Through Megan, Chris was introduced to My Little Pony and Sailor Moon, with Megan providing him with some of her own fan art. He also began making his own custom My Little Pony figures,
Oh God.
including one that he made using his own hair.
Oh God.
As an adult male fanatic of My Little Pony, he preceded the so-called brony culture, which would only begin to blossom around 5 years later. Megan also requested him to bid on a collection of World War II photos on eBay, of which Chris was the winning bidder. In 2006, Christian's online spending habits intensified, with Chris purchasing My Little Pony and Sailor Moon figures, pornography, and sex toys, among other things. In February of 2006, Christian finished drawing
A good Western comedy would have to be. There are two good Western comedies. One I can't say on YouTube because I don't want to get canceled for saying it's funny. And it's funny for different reasons because it's a Mel Gibson film. So you can look into that as you will. And then 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. Oh, my collection is in a jar. I never collected My Little Ponies. The only reason I cringed at that was because he said he used his hair, and that to me blew my mind.
As seen in episode 1. The green egg lands in the jungle. The electric hedgehog Pokemon that came out of it grows up to become Wild Sonichu. The blue egg lands in the ocean and is rescued by the Pokemon Swampert, which takes it to the beach just in time for it to hatch and become Bubbles Rosechew. The white egg lands in front of a church, and out of it hatches Angelica Rosechew, who is raised by nuns.
Huh.
Mystifyingly, after she evolves into her final form overnight, Christian is outside her window, bringing her a scrunchie and a pair of shoes.
That's just fucking creepy. He was waiting for her to turn of age. That's
As a
messed
gift.
up.
The red egg crashes into Nabe's dojoshin and hatches. For some reason, Nabe is compelled to rip off the Sunny's tail, causing him to instantly evolve
Good for fire.
into Punchy
That's funny.
Sonichu. The
I didn't
purple
think of
egg
that.
hatches in a
It would
cave,
make good
and the
kindling.
purple Sunny starts to telepathically communicate with the Pokemon Mewtwo, who decides to mentor it. For months, this mysterious mentor taught the Sunny how to hone
That
his
is messed
pores,
up, bruh.
lift objects
That is,
mentally,
it's both funny
physically,
and kind of messed up.
push the
But,
outside
you
world
know,
with
hey,
light. Until
we
one
don't
day,
judge on this
through
channel, guys. We
meditation,
don't judge.
the Sunny suddenly evolves into Magichan Sonichu. He then farts.
He then
The episode
farts. You hear it. Christian oh god.
ends with a final
I even
bulletin,
gotta,
which would
I don't
been
have
more
anything to say for
suitable
that.
for a televisual feast rather than a comic book. Stay tuned for when these hedgehogs meet. In the next episode, Blachu steals a Master Sunstone, and through a comedy of errors, is met with 4 of the chaotic combo.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, the 5
Are you saying it was messed up because of the comic book?
And they take down Blachu,
Oh,
leaving
okay.
him in a bloody mess, accompanied by
I'll
a
just say,
pre-played sound
don't
effect
be getting on
commonplace in
Foxboy for
cartoons.
anything. He's
The
cool,
comic
or
closes
she. I don't
with a
know.
fake ad for a call
They're
service
cool.
that would send one of the 2 single men in the world a beautiful girlfriend or a monkey. In May 2006, Christian attained a CAT degree after 5 years of study, even though it should have only taken 2. For the graduation ceremony, he decided to wear the robe from his high school graduation instead. Now that Christian received his qualification, this made him more likely to get a job and advance his life towards building up a career doing what he loved, and possibly even real.
Okay, I'll remember that. So, Foxboy prefers they, them pronouns. Remember that, Snail. Remember that. Remember that. They, them. Got it. Remember that. I will remember that. I have a hard time remembering pronouns, but I will try my very best, and I'm sorry if I screw up a few times, but I will remember that. I will do my best to remember that. They, them. They, them. They, them. Foxboy is they, them. Okay, got it. All right. Now, Christian. Okay, guys. Christian, at this point, has gotten his college degree. At this point, like Gino has said, he could have just went off and got a job, but he didn't. This is where, like, the true downfall happens. Now, I said I wasn't going to do this, but we're going to do part 4 as well. Link in the description when this is all over. But part 4 will be the last part that we watch tonight.
What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Christian.
I know this is weird that I've watched, like, now, as of now, we've been streaming for an hour, and we've watched 3 parts so far. We've watched part 2, 3, and 4, and then 4 is going to be the last one we watch tonight, though. Alright, guys?
With Sonichu Issue 5, the story strays further and further away from the Sonichu storyline and makes Christian the main character, with the plot of the comic closely mirroring his own life. The comic begins with Sarah's wedding, with Chris attending in spirit, possibly alluding that he didn't attend her actual wedding. The episode also introduces 2 new characters, Megadula Skunk, based on a character created by Megan, and Sailor Mechtoon, indisputably symbolizing Megan herself. He briefly fights off.
He literally wrote that poor girl. Megan Schroeder. I wonder if Megan Schroeder is still a thing on the internet. Megan Schroeder. Okay. The Megan Saga. I wonder. If he did, he could have. I 100% agree with that. If he had just If Chris put actual effort and practice into it, he could have very well. This could have worked out. I know he wouldn't have been able to get Sonichu itself off the ground because of legal reasons, but I feel like he could
That's
have
Ice
pulled it
Lane, and at
off.
the end of the episode, Sarah thanks him for all the childhood years they spent together and wishes him good luck on his advances towards Megan. Sarah throws her bouquet at him, and he catches it, believing this meant his own wedding would come shortly. Christian uses his comic to depict his inner monologue and fantasies to the world. I love Megan, yet she's not ready to return or seek it. I'd feel better if I could chat with her on the phone, although she's uncomfortable doing that. Our email communications are okay, but speech speaks louder than typed words. The artwork also changes to an unmistakably anime and manga style, perhaps in an effort to appeal to Megan even more. In the following episode, Christian has a lengthy discussion with Sonichu about his optimistic hope that he and Megan will get together, despite him admitting a few pages ago that she was not responsive to his advances.
Huh.
He acknowledges that he is so optimistic
kinda
that
fucked
he
up.
even stopped using his attraction sign. They're interrupted by the announcement that Mary Lee Walsh and the Jerkops are invading Quickville, so Chris teams up with
So,
Megan.
to anybody who's wondering why it's typed in the comic books, if I remember correctly, Chris wrote everything down, and then when he photocopied it to put on the internet, he just typed over his writing. Because I'm assuming his writing was absolutely atrocious. But I think that's the reason why it's typed.
Crystal
I
and the
figure I should
chaotic
just say that
combo.
because it's never brought up.
During the
I don't think.
climax, Crystal gets trapped in the dark mirror, and Christian comforts a tearful Megan who thought that she had lost Chris for good. His obsession with Megan is made crystal clear, and is further confirmed by the emails she sent to him. I know you know that I hate guys and I hate love, because I told you a million times. So why do you keep getting too close?
So this is kind of like a diary, but with those comic sits in the newspapers. I would say that. I would say at first, maybe it wasn't, but now that we've gone further down the rabbit hole, then yes, I feel like this has gotten to the point where it is his diary or his most inner
Stop touching
thoughts.
me. I really don't like it at all. I know you said because you have feelings for me and it's hard for you, but I'm sorry, this sounds mean. You really need to try and get over it. If you keep hanging on like that to someone who doesn't love you back, well, it'll only make you more miserable. You need to just accept the fact that I don't and will probably never love you. So you should just take a rejuvenating breath and move on. Advice to which Chris refused to listen, as his
Caden, I don't know if you saw this or heard me say that tomorrow it's not gonna be Christian. Tomorrow, when I have, because like I said, when this stream's done, I'm tearing apart my computer desk to make room for my PC I'm getting tomorrow. Yeah, at least she's being nice to him about it. You're right. But tomorrow will be Universe Sandbox. So if you guys have any ideas what you want to see me do in Universe Sandbox, whether it be throw rocks at the moon or anything, go to my Discord and tell me what you want to see me throw at the moon or something along those lines. Like I said, it'll probably be late tomorrow. I don't know if I have to work. I have to go into work to see if I have to work. It's kind of weird. Hopefully they send me, because if they send me home early, then I'm just going to come home and start streaming for a few hours. Crap, I missed the live stream. I accidentally put the red bar to the random slide. Why are you doing the Christian again? Because I want to do the whole documentary. So we're doing 3 parts.
I'm just a little
tonight.
mad that I have to keep
Part
telling
2,
you to
part 3, and
please
4.
stop touching me. It's like you're not wanting to listen to me.
I wanna do Sundays as my reaction, or just random streams where I just watch videos and talk.
Tell you, then you say okay.
And
but
then
eventually
gaming's
you're
throughout
back
the
to
week.
Same tricks, and this time I really mean it. Even my other friends don't like it and think it's weird. So once
But at
and
least
for
she
all,
is being nice
you
to him,
please
right?
stop. You know I don't like it, so why do you keep doing it? It's not like you're gonna try and soften me or something. So, I don't want to have to tell you again, or I might get really angry. 'Cause you know, unwanted remarks or advances to a girl is sexual harassment, and I don't take that lightly. Chris's not so
Good.
subtle attempts at getting her attention did not go unnoticed.
I don't know if it's said or not. I wonder if she was a lesbian. But she said she doesn't like guys or love. So maybe I'm reading into this wrong. If anyone knows more about the Megan Schroeder, yeah, it is ridiculous having to write it out. You shouldn't have to tell somewhat that no means no. But then again, it's Chris we're talking about. But I genuinely wonder, maybe she just, maybe it was just, I don't know.
Sometimes I get the feeling that she
I
taught
could
me
just
to
be
get me
reading
to
into
like
it
you.
wrong.
Like Sailor Moon, for example. The only Sailor Moon thing you had was that adult video, and since I told you how much I love it, then you start getting into it. Kinda
Could
like
be
My Little
asexual.
Pony.
That too.
That kind of
I did
thing
not
really
think
annoys
about
me.
that.
I don't like it much when people...
Because, refresh my memory, asexual means you don't like anybody. There's gay, bi, lesbian, and there's transgender, and there's A. So yeah, asexual. I think asexual just means you don't like anybody.
People get into something right after they find out I liked it first. When you said we had a lot in common, like Sailor Moon and My Little Pony.
Tons of hard
well,
work were
who
put
loved
into
Sailor
this,
Moon
and good
first?
God, it is actually
Who
interesting. It
collected
is
My Little
interesting.
Pony first?
Like I said, guys, I 100% implore you. Links to everything will be in the description. I didn't think I was going to do part 2 and 3 and 4 tonight. So I didn't put those links to it in the main description, but I will after the stream's ended. But make sure you guys check out Geno Samuel. He's done this 72 times, and it's going to keep going until there's nothing left to talk about. And he has done a remarkable job. So make sure you guys
Okay,
check him out.
I know I sound like a spoiled brat, but can you see what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say?
2 souls,
I
one
don't
of
like
them.
being too in common with others.
I don't
try
know
to
what
be
you
as
mean
different from
by
others
that.
as possible.
2 souls, one of them.
On June 27th,
I feel bad I missed something.
2006, Patty Chandler was put to sleep.
Oh,
A day later, at a special service,
poor
Christian
Patty.
read out the eulogy, which he wrote himself.
So Patty, just so everyone is aware, Patty was Chris's beloved dog. And they just said they put him to sleep.
My family, furry friends, anyone else present, we are gathered here today to pay our last respects and wishes to our dearly beloved Beagle Spitz, Patty, who has departed from our world here on Earth to a doggy heaven where she will be happier because she will run free and play with all the other dogs who are already having fun up there.
Yeah, poor
I will
dog.
always remember Patty for all the lovely memories she had shared with me from when I picked her out of the litter at my Aunt Karina's house in Red Oak, Virginia, the time I watched my old best friend, Sarah Hammer, take Patty by her front paws and danced a bit, the times I've watched her stand on her hind legs and then rewarded her with a biscuit bone,
That's sad.
the times I've just sat with her in the yard and petted her head. I've always given her a bally scratch, where I stroke her head with all 5 fingers, like as if I was gently squeezing a rubber ball. The many times
That is
I've fed her
sad.
a can of food and
I had guinea pigs, and I remember when they passed away.
full of dry food, and refilled her bucket.
Rip, there
with
is no
fresh
free
water
internet
so
in
she could drink
KFC.
it and wash her face. When Patty was brought to the vet on that fateful day, I was distraught with fright and concern for her health. I stayed with her during her final moments, with a hand on her head and a tear in my eye.
Poor
When my mother was brought the paper that gave the doctor permission to send her on her way, I didn't want her to be the one to sign it. I raised Patty since she was a 6-week-old pup, and I wanted to take the strain for signing that one-way ticket.
Oh,
It was hard for me, but it was for the best. So I signed that paper, with a crying sonnet face saying, "We love you, Patty."
poor Patty.
After that, I gave her my final pets: hug, hand-to-paw hold, eye contact, ear rub, cheek-to-fur rub, and I sadly waved her for the final time, and I said, "Goodbye, Patty. I love you." As I stood outside, I heard Patty's last barks, saying, "I will always love you, Chris. Thank you." But we all must move on with our lives, with our beloved Lucky Mutt in our hearts and in our memories.
Amen.
So, Patty, may your old doghouse and surrounding flowers forever memorialize your blessed heart, your barks at the stars
You
and
can
strangers,
see the
and
difference
your loyal
in
love
him
that
and
you have
his
blessed
world
upon
and
me
his
and
own
my
world.
family and friends. Bark on and rest in peace, our beloved Lucky Patty.
I do think that it's.
What would you do for a PS3?
I mean, that is sad, but at least he copes with it in a good way and not in a bad way, because that could have went way different direction. I'm glad he coped with it in a good way at the loss of his
A
dog.
chance to be on Robot Chicken.
In November, Adult Swim held another contest, this time encouraging viewers to submit a video wherein they would say what they would do for a PlayStation 3. Christian's video featured the appearance of his own makeshift PS3. which was in fact a PS2 encased in a mix of Lego and pixel block pieces.
Hello, my name is Christian Weston Chandler from Ruckersville, Virginia. What would you do for a PS3? What I would do for a PS3? I tell you what I do. Well, if I had the money, I'd wait in line, like all the other people did with their tents and all that good stuff.
Back in the good old days.
I'd throw away the cure for autism if I had it, because I want to get rid of that lifelong curse that I've had. And,
Yeah, Robot Chicken's still going on. What season are they on? I know I just watched a few episodes last night. Robot Chicken. Ian. They are on... Started in 2001. So far it says they're on season 11. So they might just be starting season 12 or getting ready to start season 12. I know that's still a thing, yeah.
yeah, I would trade in my PS2 for another thing. Or, otherwise, I'd make one from wood if it was hard enough. But you know what I did? I did it. I made it. Made one from Legos and pixel blocks. And believe me or not, I actually play Guitar Hero on this thing. Thunder Horse!
In the beginning of 2007, Christian started working on a DVD called Yep, I'm on TV, which would become a collection of all his TV appearances and his homemade videos, in addition to a slideshow of his pictures up to 2007.
Alright, guys. I have a mission for all my subscribers and viewers. Find me that DVD. Tell me where I can find it. I know that there's copies out there. If you guys can find it to me or help me find it, I will purchase it and we will watch it on the stream.
Planned to make and release it to only a small selection of people, including Mrs. Sanford, with whom he got in touch via email. You may be able to help me in a portion of it now. There will be a slideshow projected from my PlayStation Portable, featuring not only pics of me growing up, but the friends, teachers, and relatives I've known and remembered, either from heart, like yourself, as well as yearbook signatures. As for what had happened during PBCC, in a nutshell, about midsummer 2003, I've realized upon revelation that I needed a girlfriend to make into a sweetheart from the ground up. So,
it'll be expensive. I know it'll be expensive, but
the R word.
I have to see it.
Love quest.
I know you can find
The
it.
Dean of Student
Because
Services.
what he ended up doing later on in the documentary, if I remember correctly, or later on in life, he ended up giving that DVD away as like some sort of like bonus to buying some merch of his or something. And I know there's bound to be a copy somewhere. Someone has to have it. And who knows, maybe someone pirated on YouTube.
Mary Lee Walsh came out and tore my sign up right in front of me and said, "You're not gonna get a girlfriend this way or anyway." That shattered my heart and murdered my soul. And it wasn't just her. The policemen imposters in brown, white, and red, aka the jerk-cops, blue and black are the true police soldiers, also seriously indented the impression that Virginia is for virgins, not lovers. He talked about his high hopes for
300 to 350 quid.
Assured his former teacher.
Okay, so Foxboy, do you live... Oh, this is a personal question, never mind. Quid is European currency, so I'm assuming you're from Europe. So, quid to USD, let's see. Quid to dollars. Correct. Okay, so you live in Europe, so I live in the United States. So 350 will go on the high end. So that's $423. So yeah, that would be pretty expensive for one DVD. I want to see. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Let's take a break from all the depressing stuff and let's see. Yep, I'm on TV DVD. Now let's go to Google. Copy. Let's take a break from the depressing shit. I really need... When I get my PC tomorrow, remind me to download Google. So we ain't gotta do this every stream. There's gotta be a way to buy it. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I don't think... Here's Reacher. That's a pretty cool series. Oh! Oh! Holy shit! There's a whole YouTube video. Okay, it's 4 hours long, so we're not going to watch it now. But we are going to...
Tonight, Sonic the Hedgehog is running wildly in
We are going to pause it. And I'm going to bookmark this to my favorites bar. And when I get my PC, I'm going to find a day where we can sit down for 4 hours and watch this entire Christian Chandler DVD. Ooh, spin-off, yes. We will have a spin-off. And you know what? Shout out to Slappy Saturday Night Movie for having his DVD. But we're not going to watch it right now. But we did find it. And I will watch it. I just don't know when I will. We'll have to pick a day.
Would receive a copy of the DVD.
Yes, YouTube really does want me to watch Monsters vs. Aliens. If you guys haven't noticed, Monsters vs. Aliens has been on my recommendation for like 3 days now. And like every time I open up a new tab on YouTube, it's Monsters vs. Aliens. It is a good movie, but I'm not watching it right now.
12.5 is strikingly distinct from all the episodes thus far, which stars his recently deceased dog, Patty. The story opens with a creative blend of photographic backgrounds and a hand-drawn Patty who wishes she could speak so she could thank Christian for all he has done for her. The next morning, Christian walks outside to feed her, only to discover his dog has transformed into an anthropomorphic dog-like creature who can talk.
Oh no! Please tell me he doesn't do things to the poor anthropomorphic dog.
Together, and she tells Chris that she wishes to roam free outside her pen. Chris leads her indoors and shows her his room, which Patty calls crowded, and suggests that if he got a girlfriend, she would help him tidy up. Using a Nintendo DS, Chris reveals a portal, which opens up
He
to
pulled
Quickville
Gumball
and
before a
declares the
Gumball,
town
yes.
Patty's new roaming grounds,
Oh!
where she can...
What the f... He did it. I need a drink. I can't believe he did that shit. That's fucked up. I don't remember this in the documentary, but oh, Jesus.
Explore with freedom. The final page of the story is a simple full-page tribute to Patty Chandler. The next episode resumes where the last comic left off, as Chris and the gang debate the best way to rescue Crystal.
And he added the dog into his fucking shit.
That they need to acquire the 7 Sonichu balls to save her. They discover an evil green Sonichu, who then envelops Chris in a dark dimension in which he announces himself as the Sonichu form of Natesurk, who then reveals his true form and declares that he is, in fact, Reldnak Natsu Natesurk.
Or Christian Weston Chandler backwards.
He is completely the opposite of Christian, with his semi-bare chest symbolizing his raging homosexuality, which horrifies and offends Chris.
I hope so too.
Meanwhile, Black Sonichu announces that he has turned his back on Natesurk, and now he is on friendly terms with Chris's friends, and has also all of a sudden developed a romantic interest in Bubbles. Chris and Natesurk transform into their Sonichu forms and battle, until Chris Chan somehow ends up back in Manchester High School. Just as Natesurk is about to deal the final blow, a phantom basketball knocks him unconscious.
Ben 10, nah, Steven 7.
Natesurk fell into a coma after hitting his head on the bleachers and is currently in the hospital. Bionic the Hedgehog reveals himself as the one who wielded the basketball at Natesurk's head. They reminisce about old times and how Chris has been drawn Bionic since 2004. Chris laments that he is 25 years old, having never even had a date. The dialogue suddenly becomes a promo for his up-and-coming Yup, I'm on TV DVD, which would not be available for purchase.
That's great, Nick 6.
10 weeks later, when Natesurk awakens from his coma with a fiery urge to murder Bionic the Hedgehog. On February 24th, 2007,
Oh, God.
Christian celebrated his very special 25th birthday. He held the joint birthday and DVD launch party at what appeared to be the game place. To mark this special occasion and to instill his wisdom unto others, he recorded his important message video, in which he reflects on all he has learned over the course
I
of
just
his
got
life.
the Wise Mystical
He was
Tree
for it
ad.
to become an educational
What
tree
mystical
at
tree
children's
ad?
schools,
My Wise
but this
Myst...
goal
Did you
has
just
yet
say
to
you
be
got an ad on
accomplished.
my video?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys,
Uh-oh.
and dudes
That
of all
can't be good. That
teenagers,
means I got
as well as
copyright.
the gals.
So I
My
don't
name
get
is
ads on
Christian
this
Chandler.
channel.
I am here, and y'all are there. This message is for everyone of the present and the future beyond this date,
Ad?
February 24th, 2007, my birthday.
Like,
My fifth
no,
birthday.
not in your
I
video.
am high
Okay, I was got scared for a minute. I was like,
and
what?
in 25 years, I have seen and learned so much. And today, I am intended to share some wise words that I hope each and every one of you will take to heart and allow for yourself and everyone else a better, brighter future.
He encourages his audience not to take up dirty habits like drinking or smoking.
You should avoid at all costs
Phew. Yeah,
smoking,
Phew is
drinking
right.
alcohol, and intaking similar icky, dangerous stuff. And smoking will eventually cause cancer, and you'll be more likely to get heart attack, viruses, and your life will be cut drastically short.
Amen to
You don't
that,
call
Chris.
cigarettes and cigars death sticks for nothing other than
I was using Microsoft Edge and I went to search bar and I was searching up names that rhyme with four and I got that ad. Why does this home look like a Simpsons house? It does kind of look like the Simpsons house. I don't know why.
If I could, I would take every last ounce of tobacco, put them on a rocket, and shoot them up to the moon.
Tobacco.
He encourages
Look,
boys to buy
there's
a
a
My Little
cat
Pony figure
in the
to get
background.
accustomed to the female form and pretend to treat it like the girl they like.
If you're a young gentleman, I recommend buying yourself a My Little Pony figure of your favorite color or whatever. Now, stroking the hair of said pony.
Oh,
very relaxing and
no.
therapeutic, and also rubbing it against your cheek. That's nice. And also, you can pretend that the pony is that girl you want to take out too. You want to take out sometime. And talk to
He's
the pony
speaking
like you
facts,
talk to
not
the girl.
pony, though. Yeah.
And he recommends that girls get Transformers.
Now, for the
And
ladies,
girls get
I recommend
Transformers. Okay.
a good old Autobot from Transformers.
Chris was progressive for his time.
Because you can get to learn how to examine the mechanics and variations of each and every, of the Autobot you have. Like you would learn how a man works, and it'll allow you to feel more comfortable in approaching and talking to that boy you've been flirting from a distance, or just been flirting with from a distance.
I didn't say it in a bad way. I meant it like
all you have to do is just end up and say hello.
I know
It's
plenty
not
of girls that
so
like
hard.
Transformers.
All you have to do is say hello to the man, lady,
the way
that's
he
all.
said it just sounded so weird.
Everything will just keep going from there.
He encourages girls
Because
to be
like
more
Transformers was always one of those things, in my opinion, where both boys and girls could like it. Because you had boy Transformers and then you had girl Transformers in the series, and they've always had that. And I don't understand why he recommended that to girls when there were a lot of girls that already
open
liked
to
it or
having
something
a
along those
relationship
lines.
with less attractive males, and states the importance of staying with your first mate, neglecting that both of his parents were married before. He finally stresses the point that it is crucial that boys and girls stay straight.
Also, keep in mind that while you're playing with these things, you should keep in mind of what your true original gender is.
Oh my God, Chris.
Because it's like you're learning about that girl you want to take on a date, young man. Or likewise, you feel more comfortable to approach that boy just saying hello that you've been checking out from a distance, young lady. And hopefully you do.
You know, with
Or now, each and every one of you.
Yeah, he was anti-gay.
You know, girl for boy, boy for girl.
Oh,
Everything else
yeah,
is
he was
fine,
very,
as said
very
by Dr.
homophobic
Histoty.
in his
It's
early
like
days.
straight away
Nowadays,
from the
he's
straight
transgender,
path, it can really jeopardize the
which
entire
I find
future
weird.
of the
How he
world
went.
and the human race.
It just
This
well,
video
when
will
we get
become
to
the
that road,
final
we'll cross.
addition
When we
to
get
the
to that
DVD.
road, but
I am
in the beginning, Chris
Christopher
was very
Christian
anti-gay.
Weston Chandler. Live long and shine on in your very own unique way. War is never the answer. Peace is never fight. Compliments will get you fuzzy.
I wouldn't worry about it. He
War
didn't
gets
know
you
what he was
quickly
talking
liquid,
about half the time.
as well as punches that get you those too. Thank you very much.
He also was
and
raised
have a
by
wonderful
two
day.
elderly people who don't
In
understand it.
March, Chris reignited communications via email with his half-brother Cole Smithy, who had made a career for himself as a film critic. This renewed interest was most likely in order to acquire his address so he could send his DVD to his brother. I have talked to Mom, and I quote her when she said, "I do not regret giving life to Cole. We've had a bunch of good years up till the madness. And all things considered, I still love Cole very much, like any other mother.
I
would for her
honestly
son."
don't feel like he.
There you
I,
go.
I honestly feel like he didn't really understand what he was saying when he did all that. I just feel like he was. It was because he was raised by two bigots.
Cole's response was brutally cold and honest. I grew up in an abusive household with Barbara and my former stepfather, Jerry, where physical and mental punishments ran the gambit, from bare-assed beatings to cold showers to bizarre scenarios, acted out with glee by two deeply neurotic adults. The treatment I received in Richmond, Virginia, was another matter altogether. To raise a child in such conditions is inexcusable. Even at a very young age, I knew that they would abandon me. They were both irresponsible and incompetent parents who exposed me to traumas that I would rather not remember. He continued to elaborate on his feelings towards Bob. The crux of my problem with Barbara comes from two sources.
Jesus.
The first is Bob's bitter influence on her, which worked to separate our relationship just as Bob did with his own children, with whom he has no association. In nearly 44 years of life, I've never met a meaner or more reprehensible Republican cur than Bob Chandler. I hope that you will email me when he dies so that I can celebrate. Our mutual hatred has never been a secret, and it points out Barbara's proclivity to isolate herself via scurrilous mates. The second and more compelling issue that permanently ruined my relationship with Barbara is the litany of lies she tells anyone who will listen about the identity of my biological father and about her marriage history. He revealed that he employed a private investigator to track down his biological father, who was most likely a man named Rand Coleman Yates, to whom Barbara was married. Go ahead and send your DVD to my
He didn't
address
know who
listed
his
below.
dad was?
You and I may be related, but our mother only loves you. As the months progressed, Chris and Megan's strained relationship carried on. She told him that she did not appreciate him depicting her original female characters with breasts, and once more ordered Christian to stop touching her.
Ooh.
In May, Chris created a YouTube account called Sonichu.
Here we go, guys. This is the beginning. Okay? This is the beginning of Chris's YouTube career. This is when he was fully discovered. Yeah, it is dark, and it does give it a whole new meaning, and that's why I'm trying to show it. I'm trying to watch these now, so they're here, because the way I see it is everything going on with Daniel Larson now. If we don't cut the Daniel Larson shit that's going on TikTok right now at the root, if we don't cut it down now, Daniel Larson's gonna do 10 times worse than Chris Chan did, and we cannot, as a community, we cannot allow people to run Daniel Larson. This is all going to lead into when I start doing the Daniel Larson deep dive later down when we finish the Chris Chan stuff. We as a community need to realize the atrocities that were committed. We need to stop it, prevent it from happening again.
Uploaded his first video, a fight on the game Soul Calibur of Chris versus Mary Lee Walsh. In June, Megan left for Kentucky, with Chris emailing her frequently, updating her with his activities at the game place and saying how much he missed her. He also mentioned attending an upcoming rummage sale in town, which ended up being reported on in the Daily Progress, with Barbara and Christian receiving an honorary mention. Right behind Ross, Christian and Barbara Chandler were waiting to shop. Christian wanted toys and video games, while his mother wanted to look for fabric. In the meantime, Sony held the Chop Chop Master Onions Rap Showdown contest to promote the Parappa the Rapper video game, which required contestants to submit a video of themselves.
I never played that
performing
video
a song
game.
from the game. However,
I knew it existed,
they
but
were
I never
limited to
played it.
only using their own voices. with the use of backing tracks, resulting in an immediate disqualification. The winner would get 2 PSPs and an all-expense trip to Seattle's Penny Arcade Expo. Chris was convinced that if he were to win the competition, he could give one of the PSPs to Megan and then invite her along to Seattle so she could fall in love with him and finally take his virginity.
Damn.
AP Station. My name is Christian Chandler. I live in Rockville, Virginia. I have a PSP. I like to rap. I play with the rapper. I go with you now. The only song I know is Master Onion, which I got from a demo I borrowed from my friend Megan.
Chris's video was far from polished, with rehearsal probably kept at a minimum.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to let test me, I'm sure you'll find that you all things that I teach you to debate ya.
Toys? What do you mean by that? The figures? Do you mean like the figures he's got?
Random video effects, which were added
Or do you mean like the
via
parappa, the
camera
rappa
used
thing I was
to film
talking
the
about?
video, the PlayStation Eye.
Duck and turn, duck and turn.
Birthday boy.
And pose, jump pose. Come on now, why don't you follow my word? Cause it's almost done, make things worse. Do rock on, yo. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Rap, rap, rap. That's a rap.
The following month,
Oh,
Christian found out that his entry made it into the top 10 and was now eligible to the public vote, ultimately due to the low number of total entries. He announced his elation online and urged everyone to vote for him on all his websites and social media. He also emailed several people asking for their vote. This included some unlikely candidates, such as his former guidance counselor from PVCC, Susan Hannafin, and his
it
brother.
could be.
After some deliberation,
You're very
Cole
right.
agreed to
It could
vote
have
for
been worth
Chris,
a lot.
only after Chris asked their mother about who Cole's real father was. Chris promptly replied that he asked her and claimed that his father was Jack Dale Smithy, which Cole knew to be untrue. Understandably unsatisfied and upset,
Good night, Uterson.
he
Have a
continued
good
to
night.
email Chris about how Barbara enveloped his life in lies, closing with an earnest wish to be informed of Bob's eventual passing. Chris intensified his campaign by handing out flyers at the game place, urging fellow visitors to vote. He even resorted to voting for his own video by making fake accounts, and gave himself a glowing review.
Is it good?
From Quick Sonic
Like I said, I've never
Video
played
Lucky
it.
7. Such honesty of his situation and devotion for his lucky girlfriend adds great emotions
Good
to his
night.
performance. The visually appealing effects added the best humor and biggest laugh I had among the bunch. I enjoyed the fun background of his assumed-to-be bedroom, and his informative feedback on playing Guitar Hero on PlayStation 3 was truly a wise and great addition. Also, he has nailed the lyrics a cappella. As this brave autistic warrior so creatively put it at the end, rap, 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 that's a rap. Truly the cherry on the top of the sundae. A perfect score of 5 out of 5 stars for his marvelous effort, and smiling at knowing he looked a bit stupid. Voting was closed at the end of July. The polls are closed, and I am anxious to find out if I am number 1 of the Rappas or not. I really want that trip to Seattle so I can be with my sweet Megan longer than usual and have fun together. I love her so much. On August 3rd, it was announced that the winner of the Chop Chop Master Onions Rap Showdown was Adam Stackhouse.
Did you... What do you mean? Did you break your fingers playing it, or did you already break your fingers and then try to play it? I played the crap out of some Guitar Hero. I wonder if I could play guitar. I wonder. That would be fun to play on stream. I don't know, it'd probably get copyrighted. Wonder. Can you play it on Steam? Okay, you can play it on Microsoft Windows. So I wonder, yeah, I could probably find it on Steam.
Egg into the bowl. Crack, crack, crack the egg into the bowl. M-I-X the flour into the bowl.
Chris immediately wrote a strongly capitalized email to Sony, demanding they reconsider. I really wanted that trip so I could have a chance to impress my sweetest Megan and possibly fulfill my dream of getting married and soon have a daughter named Crystal. Yet now I, a frustrated high-functionally autistic 25-year-old virgin, have been balls broken like I have through a big chunk of my life in America's favorite game, Kick the Autistic.
Oh, jeez.
Sigh. I had my fantasies of having...
My fingers were small back then. Like, finally I saw a sad play, and it was And it just tried to reach my fingers and the buttons on the guitar. Oh.
Having fun with
Dad
Megan,
play it.
taking
Oh,
her to
okay.
really extravagant destination. I am not rich. Taking a long-wanted tour of the Nintendo of America Company tour with her. Playing Guitar Hero against the guy in the Parappa costume. Jamming with Megan in the hotel room. And possibly our first time in bed. Sigh. Life can be so unfair and f***ing corrupt. But I digress. Take the a cappella rule to the max on those 3 out of 10 videos. Take care, Christian Weston Chandler. He argued that the winning entry used a backing track and had to be disqualified. However, since the backing music was actually sung in a cappella, the entry was deemed suitable. Chris seemingly ignored the rule that contestants could not rewrite the lyrics.
So, yeah, I was about to say.
Thusly
So,
disqualifying himself. He directed his anger towards Stackhouse in his blog post on the PlayStation Network's website. This is directed mostly to Adam Stackhouse, the SOB who was the alphabetically first video in the Parappa contest and got wrongfully the big prize. This jerk's video was against the no music rule. His, Surya Butchwald, and Aperluski's video all should have been disqualified because they all had music. He also let Megan know about his sorrow. I am angry, depressed, and lonesome, all simultaneously. I worked so damn hard. I sent like over 500 messages between MySpace, PlayStation Network, and AOL. And I even made up over 120 dummy email
the
accounts
old
to match
website
with their
memories.
dummy
Ah,
PlayStation
yes.
accounts, so I could
Those
stuff
old
the
websites.
ballot.
It's
Sigh.
fucking wild to see
I
them.
failed. So much effort. Rapping and dancing with goofy effects to be even considered. Spreading the word as far and wide as possible. Wasted. And I did it all for you, Megan.
Oh,
I had you in
no.
my heart as I chopped the onion a la mode dance. Megan finally let him have a piece of her mind. I just want to say that your behavior has irritated me for the last time. First, I'll start off with saying that I'm glad you didn't win the contest, because I have no interest in going on a trip alone with someone who can't keep his hands off me. I'm not your girlfriend, and I never will be. When I say don't touch me, that means don't touch me. What may seem friendly to you is sexual harassment to me, and I don't like your Megan obsession. I don't like being a character in your comics. I don't like how you made me a character in Soul Calibur and Animal Crossing. That kind of behavior really freaks me out. To release his rage, Christian filmed a video of himself shooting a dart-firing Megatron pistol at a dartboard with a photo of Adam Stackhouse's face on it.
Jeez.
And that is how angry I am at Adam Stackhouse, Aperluski, Rudell, and Surya Butchwald. They should have been disqualified because they had music and more than one person in their Freakazoid videos.
As time went on, his attitude towards Megan changed little, announcing his displeasure at her fraternizing with her friend Christopher. The hugging was one thing, but when I heard the smack of your kiss on his cheek, it started a chain reaction in my head, from OMG to simultaneous infuriation
Yeah,
and jealousy.
I 100% agree. Megan should have went off on him sooner, in my opinion. But, like, she had a good point. Like, he would not get the hit.
I assure you that
She
I would
was as
not do
nice as she
anything
could be
extreme
for as
to
long as she
Christopher.
could.
Originally, I was not fond of him, because it was obvious that he was a homo. Yes, I am a homophobe. I fear them all, and I fear the tormenting temptations of falling off the straight path. But then I mentally, sometimes from a DVD, and if you'll pardon the expression,
Bah! I can't let him say that.
I tell you what, if I ever stoop down to changing my path, I might as well would get a gender change operation. In late October, Daniel Mims, who frequented the game place, covertly snapped a couple of photos of Chris in mid-battle, and his buddy Lucas uploaded them onto the anonymous image board, 4chan.
Oh, I remember
A user on the
4chan. Here we
company
go.
website, Something Awful, who had seen Christian on the UVA campus, created a thread focused on Christian and his comics, unleashing the Christian myth onto the world.
This is the beginning. This is when it all truly went wrong.
Members debated over the veracity of his supposed actions, and those who have witnessed him in person shared their stories. The fascination around Chris quickly spread to other websites. The outlandishness of his situation motivated people to draw inappropriate fan art featuring Chris and his Sonichu characters. On November 3rd, in a thread on 4chan, a user named Evan Christopher Jones
Oh yeah,
was
4chan,
encouraged
when
to
all
send
things go
Chris an
downhill.
email showcasing a small selection of fan art.
Hello,
This is some
Moltron.
fan art of Sonichu
I
my
enjoy
friends
it.
and I have drawn.
Hope you enjoy.
I hope you enjoy
Jo-
it. The included images were Chris hosting girlfriend auditions with no darkies written on his
Oh,
desk.
God.
A short comic about Chris losing his virginity by having sex with Sonichu.
Oh.
Graphic depiction of Sonichu masturbating while yelling out,
All right.
"Hey Sonic," having a stare down. Chris's reply was rather unexpected.
I was reading when he
Thank
said,
for
hope
your
you
fan art
enjoy.
contributions. In constructive criticism, I like the one with me and the girlfriend auditions, as well as my glaring in the eyes of the blue guy. But
Oh, no. Yeah, I skipped it.
towards
Don't
the
worry.
other two, Sonichu and I are not of that nature at all. If you would like to make it up to me, though, please draw a
My
strip of
eyes, I'm
Rosechu
sorry,
stripping
Fox
for
Boy.
Sonichu and have him her, and draw Rosechu masturbating and squirting. I am straight, damn it.
I haven't watched the documentary. I just read the quickie. Oh,
I will
okay.
not be veered
Hope you
in
enjoy
any
it.
other disgustingly
Thank God.
grotesque direction. Again, most nasty fan arts are not appreciated at all. Please feel free to share that quote with the rest of the fans. Sincerely, Christian Weston Chandler. We're keeping track. Evan immediately posted Chris's response on 4chan.
I'm sorry
And in
for you.
order
It's
to
okay.
archive all future interactions, Jason Kendrick Howell created a page on the satirical Wikipedia-style website, Encyclopedia
There we go. The
Britannica,
first real
solely
troll.
devoted to Christian. Under the assumption that these people on the internet
It's
were
fine.
poking and making fun of him, or trolls,
I've seen
were
worse.
genuine fans of his, he shared the news with Megan. The good news, though, is that I've had more fans for Sonichu than I thought. Now the worst to bad. I got this email earlier that had a set of 4 fan art of Sonichu and me. While I enjoyed more the spoof of me sitting by a box
Where
on
it
the
started,
sidewalk
yep.
for girlfriend auditions, and the one with me glaring in the eyes of a blue hedgehog in armor. The other 2, in that set of 4, freaked, creeped, and scared the crap out of my head. A lot worse than my freakout over you on Christopher's lap last night. Please keep that in private. In other words, get a room. I sent him a reply with respective criticism. I was infuriated. He also found out about an artist on the website DeviantArt who had made Stonichu-related fan art but did not credit Chris in it, and also discovered the Encyclopedia Dramatica page. In the meantime, Evan continued to send Chris more fan art. I'm very sorry I disappointed you, Chris Chan. I drew what you wished. This was a drawing of a naked Rosechu having sex with Sonichu and finally masturbating and squirting out of her gigantic penis.
Oh my God.
Oh, and here's more art from more of my friends. I didn't draw any of this stuff though, so if you don't like it, I have no guilt. This email included more graphic content, including Mary Lee Walsh and a transgender Rosechu.
Oh dear
All
God.
right, I have one last batch of fan art. I'm sorry to send so many to you, but my friends are really eager to share it all. I hope you
Bloody
enjoy.
hell is right.
Attached more fan art, a few more tasteful than the rest. Chris replied, disclosing a link to the ED page about him. Evan coyly denied accountability. What? What a horrible page. I'm sorry. I must wonder how they got pictures of our emails. I hope no one's hacking my email account.
It's because he was the first
Current
troll, by
security
the way.
concerns. Christian sent another angry email. Do me a favor. Draw a vagina on my Rosechu. Rosechu is a girl. She never had a fricking pickle. If I see one more fricking pickle, and you may spread this quote to other adult fan artists, I will create you in Soul Calibur 3 and beat you up like there's no tomorrow.
That's such a threat,
Evan
Chris.
replied with a simple uh-oh and a picture of Rosechu holding a pickle saying,
Oh, that's fucking amazing. Oh. Oh, that's sad.
I wish pickles could masturbate and squirt. And Evan saying, Fudge, you're going to beat me up in SC3 now, aren't you? I shouldn't have let our souls get fiercely entangled.
Crap, Bree.
On November 4th, someone who called herself Vivian G sent an email claiming that she independently created a similar character called Sonichu and wanted Chris to acknowledge that it wasn't stealing. Evidently, he stated that it was fan art and that she shouldn't keep doing it because his characters mean too much to him. Vivian then sent a caps-locked email trying to convince him to improve himself. Jesus, are you so high on your horse that you think it's fan art? Jesus Christ, man, you are irritating me. You are putting me under more damn stress than you'll ever have. I want to express my goddamn self to the internet, and I find that some prick who thinks he's so great can call homosexuals wrong. And I have 2 lesbian friends who would be offended as by your ignorance, and thinks that going around stalking girls will get you a girlfriend. Newsflash, bitch. You mean nothing to this world, and you will never get laid unless you improve yourself. Your
Cap
troubles with
lock.
dirt
Yep.
cops
You
isn't
know it's
because of
serious
them,
if you get
it's
caps
because
locked.
of you. Fuck off and die. This entire debacle with trolls encouraged Joshua Martinez to toy with Chris, who first met him at James Madison University, where they both received speech therapy and remained as acquaintances. He managed to convince Chris that he regularly schmoozed with movie stars, thanks to his connections to the movie business. He contacted Chris and claimed that he found a girl who would like to meet him, when in fact, he was only trolling him. He even pretended to be this Lori and had a conversation with Chris through instant messaging. Christian reported on his elation in an email to Anna. Her name is Lori Lopez. I chatted with her through AOL Instant Message last night. She was really
That was
sweet,
some
and
stuff.
not only did I have a great time getting to know her, but, blush, I got turned on. I know that she works at a car lot, I think. She is 23, brunette, brown eyes, and she is a mix of American and Spanish. If you've watched the movie Into the Blue, the starring woman, Jessica Alba, is an American-Spanish mix as well. He also mentioned her to Megan and even attached a supposed photo of her. On November 7th, Chris filmed a video pleading those involved with the ED page to be more
Blush.
respectful about him and take it down, and talked in length about his life and what caused him to be in his current situation.
It has come to my attention that I have a lot more fans of my electric hedgehog Pokemon Saichu than I had originally thought. And I thank each and every one of you for your support. And I will draw more comics when I get some positive inspiration or when I feel like it.
Or when I feel
After all,
like it.
everybody has a life, so do I. I have a life. I would like to humbly apologize for appearing to be some kind of sleaze, troll, badass, or whatever adjectives, good or explicit, you may feel about me. Please understand, I am a 25-year-old high-functioning autistic male with a simple, peaceful dream of becoming
This
a
is so
father
much to take in.
of a sweet,
It's okay. It's only got
pretty girl
3 more minutes
who
left,
I
and
will
then we're done.
dubly name Crystal Weston Chandler. Crystal, a name that sounds similar to mine, but it has a nice ring to it.
He claims that his family, on his mother's side, stems from British royalty.
Weston, my mother's maiden name, and a proper English name from royal descent. As a matter of fact, among my mother's side in the ancestral traits, we have been traced down to Daniel Weston, who was on the Mayflower voyage,
Huh.
and beyond him, Anne Boleyn, who was the one of King Henry VIII's wives, who gave birth to Queen Elizabeth I.
He talks about his upbringing, the struggles of the school system, and his achievements in high school. He defends his methods for finding a sweetheart.
All I did was sit around with a sign by my side that said I was looking for a boyfriend-free girl, 1825, yada yada yada, all that page. And I did all that because I have feared rejection and the infinitely high boyfriend factor,
Huh.
because you cannot
This is new
tell
info. It is new
which
info.
ladies are paired up and which are not. And wedding rings, that's just a whole different story because they're married. Because it's not like you give every woman a ring who's already paired up. This is one perspective. So please understand, I am not a violent person. I'm decent. I come from a caring, loving pair of parents. I'm kind, considerate. I will respect your space and your feelings ever so much. Thank you very much for your time and listening. And please remember, I'm an innocent person. Just like most every one of you, I've had my faults. I've had my share of bad times. I have my share of good times. Please understand that. Thank you again. Take care.
With this recent upsurge in interest for Chris, he had the ability to raise awareness for his cause.
What if he
and
got a
take
girlfriend?
proper
Somehow,
action
like,
to
if they
prevent
broke up, what
further
will they do?
trolling.
He has a bunch of fake girlfriends throughout the years. I believe there's
Better
gonna
yet,
be more in
if
part
he
5
took
of
better
that.
care of his online presence, he could have made all of this fade away.
Well, I'll finish what I'm saying. Okay, it's over. So he had a bunch of fake girlfriends that made him do a bunch of shit, like shove stuff in his butt and a bunch of other stuff. We'll learn about that in the next couple episodes. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Make sure you guys check out Geno Samuel. Like I said, the link to his channel will be in the description, along the links to part 2, 3, and 4 of this series. Anyways, guys, it's time to put the change in the jar. If you are new to the channel, the change jar is my life savings. Not really my life savings, but this one day when it's full, we're going to do a video in Rome. I'm going to go to Rome, hopefully. And today, we are adding 41 cents to the jar, so let's throw that in. See you later, Fox Boy. Have a wonderful night. Or day. I don't know what time it is where you're at. Anyways, guys, it's getting pretty full. So hopefully, one day we will fill this. And we will go to Rome. Or I'll go to Rome, or whatever. Anyways, guys, this is One Only Snail Games 223. And I'll see you all in the next video. Live life or die trying, Snail Gang. Why is it going to part 4 again? I'm not trying to restart it. Live life